wheels in the door.
It just says you're about to do your introduction last week.
One day. You know, we really should switch to that stream thingy that everybody else uses, where you can do, like, videos and things and stuff, but I look at it, it's like, buttons. I don't want to learn any new buttons, Lumlum.
I mean, it's good to learn new buttons sometimes, Art.
Lumlum, go into the corner of shame for speaking out against Master.
Oh, God. Also, hello, everybody. How are you? Arch already fucking up his introduction as we go live.
Where did I put the... Ah, there it is. There's the chat window. Okay, that's useful. Oh boy, I think I've mixed my hentai tab with my sources. Okay, that could be a YouTube TOS violation in the beginning there.
Jesus Christ, Arch.
Listen, normally I put all of the tabs on one screen so I can drag them in as I need them. Sometimes things get mixed up. It happens.
Arch, you're gonna pull a Vosh one day.
Yes, probably. But honestly, I'd rather pull a Vosh than a Darkside Phil, so I'll take that as the lesser of two evils.
You know what? Fair.
Anywho, welcome, chat, to our latest segment, which I think this is gonna be like a every week segment now. Norwegian news. Because frankly, who cares what happens in the rest of the world? It's largely irrelevant. Let's see, can I translate this into English? Well, yeah, that's not the worst translation ever, actually. So, today in authoritarianism, a bunch of nice old ladies were at the old people's home. Or, actually, not an old people's home. It's like an old people's activity center, where, like, old people can come together and enjoy each other's company and stuff like that while still living at home, because we ran out of places at the old folks center, and we kind of just wish they'd hurry up and perish at this point, honestly. But and this is the best part, they were like, okay, well, what are we going to do? We're going to have a cheese and wine evening. You know, that's something that old people like, cheese and wine. And so first they have to apply to the local government for permission to have their cheese and wine evening, because it is Norway. Then, once the government has given their assent, they must apply to the local city council for permission to have their cheese and wine evening. And initially, they're granted permission for this, but they are later then denied the permission to have their cheese and wine evening on the day that they were supposed to have it. Like, they called up all of these old people early in the morning and said, no, you're not allowed to have any fun. Fuck you.
Okay, but why do they have to jump through so many hoops just to do a little cheese and wine tasting?
Well, that's because, you see, we were worried that there might be problems with inclusivity. And that is why it was also cancelled, because a city official decided that having alcohol at a cheese and wine event might be perceived as uninclusive. And so they were forbidden from having it.
Okay. One, how? Two, it's old ladies just drinking wine. It's not like they're bringing out the moonshine or fucking absinthe and just chugging that shit down.
Yes, you see, but like it says here, serving alcohol can be exclusionary for several groups in society.
But it's like, okay. It's like, they had a guest list already of who was confirmed to show up and all that. And those people were like, okay, yeah, we're fine with this. Why cancel it? Because it's like, oh, but what if people from the outside want to join? Like, it sounds so dumb.
Yes, like, they cancelled it because theoretically someone else could be like, I would like to go to a wine and cheese evening, but there's gonna be wine there that offends my sensibilities. And since it could conceivably offend someone, They had to cancel it. Mind you, by the way, I don't believe anybody was actually offended. I don't think anybody actually lodged a complaint against this or anyone. There appears to be no victim here, but the government official determined that there might be the potential for a victim to be created.
It was just one that said no.
Yes, one governmental official who went like, no, this could be exclusionary. You're not allowed.
What the fuck? Let the old ladies be happy with their wine and cheese. God damn, they don't have much time left.
Hey, this is the problem, Lum Lum. You're just not very inclusive.
I am very inclusive.
I don't know.
I mean, I watched the entire movie Am I Racist, and I learned I am very inclusive.
I don't know about that. The city official determines that you're not very inclusive.
I'll determine that the city official can meet my fucking hand across their face.
Now, I will also say, because I see a lot of people who are like, it's the Muslims in chat. And yes, that was the reason why, because there was some city official who determined that Muslims might be offended. However, we do actually have some intelligent Muslims in Norway. Well, we have fake Muslims in Norway, who are Westerners who adopt the style of Islam because they think it's pretty, or their parents had it or something, who actually come out against this very loudly and clearly and says, like, no, this is retarded. We are Western Muslims, in other words, not Muslim, and we don't care.
So those people are like your favorite piggy girl from Dustborn, fake Muslim.
Yes, like they would not be accepted as Muslim by the rest of the Muslim nations of the world. But that's how I prefer it. They need to make their religion undergo the same change as Christianity, where they basically moderate and accept that it's no longer the, 600s.
Hello.
Hello, Dev.
Oh, hello, Dev. How's your feeding hour?
Ha ha ha. Actually, I was doing yard work.
We were talking about your
still-
favorite subject, food.
I'm still. Oh, nice, excellent. I'm still all sweaty and like blech, but that's fine. I'll just shower after.
Ew, stinky.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm doing person home right now, so no big deal. So, I'm only a few minutes late. What did I miss? What's going on, guys?
City officials bullying old women so they can't have their wine and cheese because it's not inclusive enough.
Yes.
What? That sounds fucking retarded.
To recap, this is Norwegian news. A bunch of old ladies wanted to get together for a wine and cheese evening, and the city officials said, no, you can't have that because it could be exclusionary.
I mean, isn't it necessarily exclusionary anytime friends hang out because non-friends can't hang out?
No, Dev. That's not how that works.
It is absolutely how, like, no, here's the thing. Exclusionary is good, though, in this context, right? Like, here, Arch, this hangout right here with the three of us is exclusionary.
Actually,
there are some people who just can't come in right now. There are some people who can't show up. You know what I mean?
Like, looking at the long list of people on this server, it's not as exclusive as one would think. There's a couple of communists, there's one of Dev's trans friends, there's one of his communist friends.
There's a few people that need to be purged.
If anything, I feel like this isn't exclusive enough.
But still, though, you get what I mean, though, right? Like, any sort of private gathering is necessarily exclusionary, and that's because being exclusionary is good in that context, right? This is a similar story. I remember seeing, this was years ago, but I saw like a school in the States banned having best friends between kids because it would. Yeah, you guys remember this?
I've never heard of it. What?
Okay,
The
hold
fuck?
on.
When was this? This must have been before my kids started school.
Yeah, 2018.
Okay, so it wasn't that long ago. Okay, no, I've never heard of this because I'm not in a lefty commie state or city.
But yeah,
Schools are
there's
banning best friends to protect students' feelings.
Yeah. So the idea is it's not inclusive enough. If you prioritized one friend over another friend, if you have like a best friend and then you have people that you're not friends with, so then some people don't get included, and you're not being equal.
That is so stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
It's like, do people not understand what constitutes a best friend to some people? Because it's like, I best friends are like the people who support you the most, or is like, your ride or die.
Yeah,
And then
well,
there's everyone else who is just like friends or acquaintances. Is acquaintances gonna also be banned because you can't have people on the outside of your circle that you're friendly with? Everyone has to be just your friend.
probably not, because I think they only drag down, they don't pull up.
Fair
That's a
enough.
general rule. Um, I mean, these schools have been going in this direction for the past few decades. Like I recall when I was very young, you know how you would there'd be like Valentine's Day, right? And if you're in grade 1 or whatever, everyone has to have like a little like place to drop off Valentines hooked onto their desk, and like everyone has to give a Valentine to everyone else in the class so no one's left out. And I even back then in grade 1, I was like, this is fucking stupid. I know that all these Valentine's little notes that I'm getting from these kids who don't fucking like me, this isn't like a real expression of anything. I don't like them, they don't like me. Why do teachers force this? Like even as a kid, you understand this is fucking stupid, you know?
I think that's why, like, for I think it's Christmas where they had like the candygrams. At least the candygrams you can send to individual people. But for Valentine's Day, like a, highly commercialized holiday and everything like that, I understand because it's kind of like bringing treats into class. It's like you better have enough to share with the whole class if you're going to bring something and all that.
No, fuck that. Why should I share with the whole class? It's my treat. I don't like those
No, no,
kids.
no, 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 no. Like you bring a lot of something, but it's only for like you and two other people. It's like, just passing it around in class just to your friends. It's like that I kind of understand, but it's like, whatever. But now you can't even bring homemade treats to school because, poison and allergies and everything like that.
Right, right. Yeah, there's like there when you look at, let's say, like definitely progressives, even some liberals, obviously people who are very far left, unless you go like radically far left, like into the tanky territory, they don't care about this stuff. But like this group of like solidly left-leaning people, um, they've taken the concept of equality to this ridiculous extreme where you do sometimes see things like you can't have a best friend because it's not equal, or you can't have a private party that you mentioned, Arch, because it's not equal. It's like, man, the original liberal conception of equality was equality before the law, right? It didn't mean equality in your private life. There's no moral impetus to have like everyone's relationships be equal. You know, like you don't have the right to be anyone's friend. You don't have the right to access anyone's sexual life. You don't have the right to access anyone's private spaces. You know, the right of free association is more important than equality, in my opinion. But equality is a buzzword, and people are kind of bringing that to its natural conclusion now.
Man, do you think one day we're going to get to the point where it's like, man, monogamous relationships aren't inclusive enough. Everyone has to open it up. Marriage is abolished. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I've already seen that. I've done a video on that. There are people who think that for sure.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on. I think I seen that video, if I remember correctly. If I'm thinking of the right one. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of your videos just to get caught up on a lot of terminology that I don't understand.
Oh,
Lum lum.
is that why you've become a communist?
Don't
I'm not a
don't
commie!
plunge down the communist pipeline.
No!
I appreciate you watching them, though. I do put some work into them sometimes.
It's like I can tell when you're passionate about talking about something and something where you're just like, you know what, this is something that'll stir the pot a little bit and it'll get me some attention. So, like the HIV video.
Mm. Oh, that was just a lot of fun. Oh my God. Like, you know what? That video is kind of what I'm talking about here, right? Because the person who was having so much promiscuous sex that they had to take anti-HIV medications so they wouldn't contract HIV, which, by the way, is conceptually a good thing. You don't want to contract HIV, but the underlying reason was, well, I have to have sex with everyone. I can't just tell the HIV positive people no because that's discriminatory. It's like, yes, you can. That's a good form of discrimination. I am 100% discriminating against putting my dick into HIV positive people. Like, I will accept that level of bigotry in my life.
Well, yeah, it's like in the fact that California decriminalized like not telling people you are HIV positive or you have any STDs, that's just fucking disgusting.
I think it went from felony to misdemeanor, but it's still bad. Yeah, you should have to reveal that shit.
Right, okay, so as to discourage Lumi from delving any further down the communist fucking pipeline, we are going to reveal the Lumi doc here.
Oh my god. No! I know what you're gonna do. Stop!
There we go, chat.
No! Photoshopped lies. Lies and deceit.
Lumi saying, "Awesome."
She was so excited. The worst part is, I remember commissioning this thumbnail from White, and I was like, okay. Like Arch with his feet up on his table and a little cat thing with a self-destruction button. And I figured I'd have boots on or something. White thought differently. And I didn't even realize this until Lum Lum was talking to me about feet again. And I was like, oh, hey.
I did see a few super chats about your feet. Is the foot fetish arc beginning?
Yeah, very much so. I was watching her play Lollipop Chainsaw yesterday, and she was trying to figure out which outfit would make the cheerleader take off her shoes, and she found one eventually. A bikini of some sort.
No!
Oh,
it
man,
was the
listen.
seashell bikini. It was mermaid coated.
Mermaid
Fair.
coded. See, wait, you're even using leftist language with coded.
Oh my fucking god.
By the way, how is that remake anyway? Because I recall liking the original game quite a bit, like back on the Xbox.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. The original mode keeps literally everything the same except for copyrighted music and outfits, but you know that's licensing issues. That's kind of fucking gay. Anyways, no, it keeps the jokes. It keeps everything. The only voice actor that did not come back was Zed's voice actor. But otherwise, Shawnee Smith is still Mariska. Tara Strong is still Juliet, as you know. Everyone came back. Everybody came back.
Well,
Nice.
what's actually kind of interesting is the gaming industry appears to be carrying out a generalized boycott of Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yes.
With Kotaku in particular, Alissi Mercante, of quite a bit of fame at this point, stated on Twitter that the reason why they weren't covering it yet was because they hadn't gotten access to review codes. That's why they couldn't do their job early enough for their convenience, and yet
Well, to be
they
fair-
do have hit pieces out on it.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you know, there's been an ongoing controversy since like 2018 of just everyone not giving Kotaku early access codes because they've been so shit.
Yep, I'm in hell. They deserve it. But as you can see in the live links, they have actually managed to create like, oh god, it's so bad, it's a terrible remaster. Like, they've had time to do that, but not to write up a review on it. Yeah, I'm sure that's coincidental.
So I wonder, like, okay, let's approach this with good faith. Okay, let's give the devil his due. Are there actually any sort of, like, it says it's a janky mess, right? Well, sometimes janky messes are a lot of fun. You know, I love Deadly Premonition. It's a janky mess, but I love that game. Well, did you play it, Lumi? 'Cause it's fucking amazing. I know Arch didn't play it, but
Yeah, I finished my playthrough yesterday actually for the remaster. It's like
no. I was asking about
Oh.
Deadly Premonition.
did the game become an issue in terms of like jankiness and stuff? There was only
No.
Oh,
Sorry. Sorry. What I'm asking is, have you played the game Deadly Premonition before?
never even heard of it.
First of all, you should play it. It's amazing. But
Okay.
secondly, is that Deadly Premonition is the definition of a janky mess that is still an amazing game. Listen, it's a janky mess and it's great. So the headline, the Lollipop Chainsaw Remaster is a janky mess, is not necessarily negative, right? Because a lot of Suda51's games can be janky. No More Heroes 1 was pretty janky, but it was still a great game, right? So like, is there actually any sort of real problem with the remaster? Like, are there like slowdown issues, or are there like is there like the frame rate drops? I mean, like some graphics don't work. Like, is there
Uh, the,
actually something?
the frame rate was fine. The uh like lock on for the blaster gun can be a little weird, but it was the exact same way in the original as well. So, the only game breaking bug that I encountered, and granted it's a common one, I guess, right now, is the quick time events don't register on manual, so I had to switch to auto. But
Oh,
the dev did put out a statement yesterday, actually, with like regarding bugs and feedback, and they're doing optimizations. They're working on a update right now for it. And
yeah,
they he
go ahead.
even made a statement regarding social media influencers and journalists uh talking about the game, saying that it was censored, or he, made a deal with the game platforms for like repop mode to be a censored version so he could keep the original. That was all completely a lie. It was all a lie.
Hmm. So
It,
in
it's
the
like,
article,
mm,
just real quick, yeah, in the article it says Lollipop in the section Lollipop Chainsaw Repop is a very bad remaster. So this person played it on Steam and then said, Juliet seems to move around unnaturally fast with her feet sliding around the world like she's on ice. Many of her attacks feel agonizingly slow, making combat a chore. As I continued through the first few levels, I ran into numerous bugs. Sometimes audio would cut out or the music would disappear. Dialogue gets cut off and I got stuck on enemies constantly. I also spotted heavily compressed loading screens with lots of pixelation. Um, so there is like a larger conversation here about how um, PC ports of these console games just tend to be kind of shit, and this happens regularly. It's not just Lollipop Chainsaw. So it could be the case that the PC version is just not very good. Um, I had that problem with Black Myth Wukong. Wouldn't run on PC for me. Had to get it on PS5, right? So and
mm,
it's not the problem is not my PC. Like I have a very good PC. It's just that with some hardware configurations, this has always been the problem with PC gaming. The big drawback is that some hardware configurations aren't compatible with some games, and so games run suboptimally or they don't run at all. This has been the lasting problem with PC gaming since the 90s. So I mean, maybe this person did actually, good faith here. Maybe this person did actually encounter some problems with the PC version of the game. But if you are a serious journalist, the next step is to go out and buy the PS5 version, or the Xbox Series X version, or the Switch version, and then start doing your journalism from there.
yeah, it's like there's a little bit of like combat feels slow initially because you only have like one attack combo. You have to buy combo attacks in the shop for like, in-game gold that you get. So, yes, combat is going to feel slow at first. So, that just sounds like a fucking skill issue at his point. There's some graphic things that could be improved, a little more like optimized, but I did not have anything that was absolutely terrible that I couldn't finish the game. Everything felt like just fine to me. Everything felt fine. I had no issues getting some shit done. Is the camera weird? Sometimes yes, but it's nothing where it got stuck anywhere or cutscenes didn't go correctly. There's some lip syncing issues, but that is also something that they are fixing in a upcoming patch.
Right, right. So I don't know if you have the other articles related to this Lollipop Chainsaw remaster story, Arch, but it's not just Kotaku because other websites have decided not to put out reviews of this game. And their reasoning consistently has been it's because it's a remaster. It's like, well, why do we need a It's not a full on remake like Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3 was back in the day. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's 5 years old now. It's not a full on remake. It's just a remaster. So
Yeah.
we don't really need to make new reviews of remasters. It's the same game as the PlayStation 3 game, and I think that's a cop out because I think you should actually be reviewing remasters if only to compare them to the original game. You know, it, the there's a good question of if you liked this game and you want to buy it on a modern console, so you don't have to pull out your PS3 whenever you want to play it or your 360, should you buy this remaster? That is a reasonable question that consumers have, and reviewers should be making reviews if only to compare the old version to the new.
Yeah, and it's like I seen that game journalists will do new reviews of like remasters of literally any other game except for Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh yeah, Last of Us for sure.
Mhm.
Like you, that game gets so many fucking remasters at this point, and it's shit. By the way, like part two is terrible. Part one's not bad. Part two is fucking terrible, and it's been remastered like 5 times. And they write a review of every single one, because that is kind of it's it is the game that progressives seem to hold up as like gaming as an art form. Like this is the game. This is the and also because people gamers don't like it because of some of the story things that it's a long story. But basically, it's politically safe for progressive game journalists, so they will cover it constantly. But Lollipop Chainsaw isn't. Lollipop Chainsaw is rife with the male gaze and heteronormativity because it is an 18-year-old blonde big boobed cheerleader with a boyfriend who's a jock, right? Like it is the most heteronormative game, to use leftist language, out there, and yet people love it. It's a good game. So they're not going to review it because they view reviewing Lollipop Chainsaw as supporting a brand of politics they don't like.
Yeah, and it's just like because did you hear what they wanted to do with Lollipop Chainsaw originally when they said they wanted to do a remake?
No, what's up?
They wanted to, do a remake and completely change the vibe of the game. They wanted to make it a more serious zombie hack and slash, get rid of like, the James Gunn and Suda 51 stylized version of it. And then
Oh,
they
that's so
changed their
stupid.
mind. Oh, I know. That's why I'm happy they went with a remaster instead of a remake. Because if they did a remake, I'm sure they probably would have been tied down so much more in terms of like what they have to change content wise as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how much do you know about Suda 51?
I know a little bit about Suda 51. I know he made No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Back. I also heard that he kind of went crazy in the last few years, but that's about it.
He did, right? So he made No More Heroes, the trilogy, plus the game between 2 and 3.
Mm.
He made Killer 7. He made Shadows of the Damned. He made Killer is Dead. He made Lollipop Chainsaw. Um, and he's the kind of guy that, like, he was this niche, almost indie kind of guy, but he was very like art focused. He's very like he's definitely an artist, more so than he is a game developer, I think. Even though he's a very good game developer. Um, However, he very clearly likes campy Americana cinema, right? Because Shadows of the Damned, you couldn't release that game today because the main character is a Latin stereotype, and progressives would be screaming how offensive Shadows of the Damned is because, like, I don't know if you played that game, but he gets like a talking shotgun with like a skull on it that speaks in like a Spanish accent, and progressives would definitely look at that and be like, this is fucking racist. But it's really funny. It's really funny. It's a great game too. It's a great shooter. Um, and you couldn't really, in some ways, you couldn't really make Lollipop Chainsaw today. Because, like you said, they wanted to remake it to remove all of the gratuitous elements out of it. Um, and if you look at, I think the No More Heroes trilogy is the best example of this. If you look at the progression of Suda 51 as a game creator, in No More Heroes, he has no problem doing all the cinema references and blood and gore and big tits and like everything that is campy and hilarious about over the top American hack and slash, right? Great stuff. By No More Heroes 3, like Travis Touchdown is wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, and he's talking about like the game's like all about oppression and diversity, and I'm just like, I think this is just the natural way that some of these more artiste types go, where they start being they start their career being these unknown edge lords, and then after they get famous, they turn into progressives, and that is basically what Suda 51's become, which is really sad because I loved his stuff 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's just like it's sad because people have like so much creative freedom when they are indie or underground. But then as soon as they get mainstream attention, that's when they kind of conform to what is the good in this current age.
That's part of it, but I think it's also partially that the indie scene itself has turned more progressive as well. Like
Mm.
if you want to get ahead as an indie game dev, you're gonna have to be making friends, and those friends are all gonna be progressive friends, and you're probably gonna be a progressive yourself, right?
Mm.
Like there's not that many right-wing game creators right now, I don't think.
Someone said Yoko Taro is incorruptible. Yeah, that is correct. Yoko Taro will always be
Oh
Yoko
yeah, yeah,
Taro.
absolutely. Oh man, that picture of Yoko Taro with the Korean guy who headed up Stellar Blade, where they're both like dancing around their love for big butts. It's like,
Yes.
yes. That's great. Drybread's in the chat. He says, "I didn't know No More Heroes went that way in the later games. That's depressing. I love the first game. It's so much. There's so much wrestling. Yeah, listen, the first two games are like lightsaber combat, blood and guts, girls with big tits, and professional wrestling, all wrapped up into one game, and like some cinema references in there. And the first two games are really fun. Then the last two games, Travis Strikes Back or Travis Strikes Again, and then No More Heroes 3, those two games, they're all like very progressive. They still have like the blood and guts stuff, but you can tell that the edge isn't there anymore because it's I don't know. I'm finding it hard to word this. It's like it's superficially edgy. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
because the actual story of the game, the actual content of the game is very progressive, but they still do all like the same moves, and it's still like superficially bloody, but it doesn't have the same edge that it used to, and it sucks because I like those first two games.
It's like unfortunately we're in a time of safe edgy and safe horny. They'll do a lot of blood and guts,
God,
but
more
they
communist
won't have any of
vernacular.
the fun to it. Huh?
More communist vernacular.
What's
I'm
the
just
vernacular this time?
I'm just stating a fact of what's currently going on. I'm not saying like, oh, this has to be this. I'm just saying that's what's currently going on, Mr. Barch.
Safe
You've
edgy. That's
picked
right,
up
chat.
too many of Dev's words
I'm
and
not a
terminologies.
goddamn commie. What am I supposed to say? Bitch edgy and bitch horny?
You come up with something else.
By the way, Arch, you should play some of these games, at least the good ones.
No.
Chat, you need to fund Lollipop Chainsaw so then I can sit and stream with Arch and just be like, yes, play the game.
Hey, wait a second. Shadows of the Damned is also getting a remaster. It's getting it in less than a month.
Yes.
I guess they're just going over all of Suda's old games, eh? Well, as long as they don't make it like, safe. Because a lot of the fun in that game is just how much it leans into Latin cultural stereotypes. And I can see people reeing at that, This is offensive towards the Latinx community.
I'm gonna kill myself.
This fish is wrong, chat. We're gonna have to throw it back.
No,
adopted
Lumi got
too
killed.
much.
No.
Too much communist vernacular. It has become a danger to itself and the rest of the swarm.
Do I have to learn new words to replace the commie language or come up with my own?
Yes.
Uh,
Also, Dragon Master Outcast donates a very generous 100 New Zealanders, which is worthy of an interruption, to say, "Good morning, Archfish and Fat One. I have a riddle for you all. No matter how small I am, your life depends on mine. Yet from your death I am born anew. I've gained your trust, but you did not let me in, for I dwell beneath till nightfall. I break through." Lumi's stomach
What?
worms is my answer.
huh?
Here, Arch, real quick. I'm going to put this in live links. Look at that image, okay? There's like a Mexican guy with the shotgun with a skull that talks to him, like the skull like moves. It's like, hey, you got to shoot that guy. And he has like he has his GF. He's very macho, This like you look at this image and you're like, I'm gonna have a fun time playing this game. It's gonna be action filled. It's gonna be hilarious. I just hope they don't neuter it.
I kind of do hope they neuter it, because this sounds like console garbage, and I think it needs to die.
God damn it, Arch.
You shouldn't have liked console stuff to begin with. Speaking of things you shouldn't like, Dungeons and Dragons. There. Bad, Dev. Bad. Don't. Bad, Dev. Bad.
That's a great image, man.
Bad, Dev.
Sorry.
It looks like the remaster's coming out on Halloween.
Yeah, man.
Nice. I mean, it doesn't look like they changed his look at all, or even his girlfriend's look.
Yep.
I'll have to put it on the wish list.
Have either of you been paying attention to artificial intelligence in entertainment?
I mean, if it's anything to do with WotC, I try to pretend they don't exist half the time, and then you have to remind me every week that they do.
That's true. They don't have a whole lot of feet models, I guess.
Oh my fucking god.
But their CEO of Hasbro, that is, Chris Cooks, which is a good name in my name, has come out and state that they are not only embracing generative AI, but they have already been using AI in the development of their products.
Is this new news?
Yes, because this is the first time they've actually admitted to it publicly. There's many people who have looked at a lot of their recent art and wondered if there is AI in it. And I believe they were also caught. There you go, yeah. There was a series of cards they put out that people looked at and determined were actually AI art. That happened earlier this year.
Yep, I think I recall this. I mean, what they should obviously do is AI to get them 90% of the way there, and then bring in an artist to like touch up the obvious imperfections, right? That's going to be the most like cost-effective way to do this.
That's literally the same thing my boyfriend said. We were just talking about it in the car, actually.
I mean, it's the obvious thing to do, I think.
It is, because it's like, it's cheap, and getting artists that will, probably under a fake name to still work with WotC to get money, will just correct the art and then let it go.
Yep.
Because it was actually really embarrassing for them when they got caught with this. Let me see if I can find the actual... there we go. The post of it. So this was the post where people pointed out that there was some weird stuff here. Like, you can click on the images and you can see, like, there is obvious, like, warping when you zoom close in, that there are things that don't look like they should be there, or there's shadows melding into, like, mold lines and stuff, or weird wires apparently coming out of nowhere and going into nowhere and so on, like nonsense geometry.
That first picture with the gauge looks like Joe Biden trying to draw a clock.
And Wizards of the Coast actually came out at first and said that no, these were not AI images and they had been drawn by a human artist. And they stuck to that for a few days until eventually admitting that they had made a mistake somehow, and that they were in fact AI images. And to make matters worse, this comes shortly after Wizard of the Coast basically banned the usage of AI.
They ban it and they just start using it? Okay.
Let's see. There we go. Yes. So this is one of the reportings of it. This is from 2023. D&D publisher update policies after AI art discovered in latest book. Artists face pushback to saying AI was used for polish and editing. And this was at the point then that they banned any usage of AI thereafter. Well, they lied. As it turns out, quite obviously. And now, of course, they've come out full force with the Hasbro CEO himself confirming that not only are they using it, they are officially using it, they will continue to use it, and it is actually going to be a major part of the development of D&D and Hasbro products in the future.
I mean, didn't they say a while ago they wanted to do, like, AI DMs and everything?
I mean, an AI DM is...
Oh,
is
an AI DM, right? Got it.
and I mean an AI DM, like that's nothing new. That's just the PC playing the side of the monsters. Like that's hardly that problematic, but it depends on how far you take it. Like, will the AI just play the monsters? In which case, that makes sense because you need some sort of AI to do that. Or will the AI create the dungeons and create the story as you play? There's a very big difference there.
Yeah, I think it's going into the model of them wanting to bring D&D to a more PC centerized audience, especially if they want to go digital with everything.
Yes, the going digital thing is the big thing here because that's the one D&D. One D&D is pushing towards a fully digitalized version of Dungeons and Dragons, and they were hoping they could turn this into an entirely separate ecosystem. That was part of the thing where they were trying to cancel the old open license agreements that they had, the open games license, because they wanted to create a walled garden, and that's what they're trying to create. Because right now, there's a lot of people who play with D&D outside of D&D's ecosystem. Like, they purchase a rule book and they use only that one rule book, and then they never purchase anything else. Or they purchase like a set of dice or something, or they adapt it, or they even just download old rule sets and so on. That's what they're trying to kill off with this by basically making it so that the only way you can get access to a D&D rule set is by having an account here to make everything digital so that they've got source control over everything.
It's like didn't they either buy out or shut down like a couple of third-party websites where they hosted their own like rule sets and everything? If I remember correctly, I don't remember.
They
Again,
might
I
have, but I
haven't
mean,
I haven't
the
played D&D myself, but I've just heard things and started looking into it after the whole OGL debacle.
the biggest one I think is Roll20. That's still around.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I'll have to look into it some more.
I haven't really heard about that either, but they are very clearly trying to basically. Because the thing is, the tabletop role playing game market is a really fucking small one. Like they're like even the second largest, which is Paizo, the creators of like Pathfinder. Yeah, Pathfinder was the name of it. Even then, recently, there was a whole controversy going around over there where they were asking artists and employees to take a pay cut and stuff, and they were firing people because they couldn't afford to continue to create the product at the quality level they were doing with like multiple colored art pieces and stuff because it cost more to produce it than people bought it for. Like, tabletop role-playing game is basically a one-company business. It's Wizards of the Coast, and everyone else is some tiny, insignificant competitor that barely stays above water. That too is going to get a lot worse, incidentally, if the one D&D thing goes through, because now they will be able to kind of separate themselves from the entirety of the rest of the market. The open games license will still exist, of course, but they're going to make another attempt to cancel that in the near future, guaranteeably. And then there will only be D&D. Like, that will be tabletop gaming, and there will be nothing else.
Okay, it looks like Chad is confirming the D20 website. Well, Roll20. Yeah, they shut down Roll20.
No way. Hold on. No, it's still there.
There's Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds for digital D&D. I don't know if Wizards of the Coast bought them out or causing problems with D&D 1 digital. It's like, I don't know. I think they either bought or directly partnered with Roll20.
Yeah, I found it. So, Wizards signed a licensing deal with Roll20. They didn't buy them, and they're still there.
Oh, okay.
But basically,
But
it is legal for Roll20 to distribute D&D stuff.
not Roll20, D&D Beyond. Okay, I don't know. There's too many goddamn D&D sites and everything. Like I think there was one called it was something in Kobolds, I forget. That was around, but now I don't think there are anymore.
Although there were a lot of derivatives of very old D&D.
Yeah.
Because very old D&D wasn't really supposed to be, its own thing. Because old D&D ripped off a shit ton of other stuff. Because it was created during an age where everyone could just make stuff, If you wanted orcs, you didn't have to go to the Tolkien estate and go like, hey, can I have some orcs in my game, guys, some elves? It was just accepted that these were like common fantasy tropes that everybody could use, and that's what D&D is actually trying to change now. They're like, okay, no, beholders, that's our stuff. Only we can have beholders. Like kobolds, yeah, that's our stuff. Only we can have these kobolds.
Let's see. So D&D Beyond was bought out. Kobold Fight Club was replaced by KFC Plus. I don't know what that is. Kobold Press is still around and doing fine. Okay. I don't know. There's too many fucking places. It's something that I want to look into, but I don't even know where to goddamn start.
Well, don't worry, there'll be a lot fewer if they manage to actually successfully digitalize this, especially if they start using AI. Because here's the thing. The production cost of creating a lot of this art stuff, for example, goes very high. Then you're employing a bunch of people to write the rule set and so on. Like, it actually costs a fair bit of cash to get stuff like this going. If you're using AI, however, your development costs go down enormously. You could create like an adventure, for example. You could feed the AI with the Curse of Strahd, for example, and go, okay, make me a story module within this universe, and the AI would do that in 5 minutes tops. Whereas the competitors will spend a couple of weeks making that scenario. And a lot of those scenarios are going to be shit, but some of them aren't. And that's kind of the problem with generative AI if it becomes a walled garden, which is what we're seeing here. Like, this is Hasbro trying to monopolize their AI and their D&D into a live service system where you have to have an account with them, you have to pay them continuously, and you have to be plugged up to their back end if you want to utilize their systems. And then they'll simply start outproducing everybody else until they're the only name remaining. It's kind of like a miniature cosmos of like what we've seen with like Microsoft, for example. Like computers, because there used to be several computer companies. There used to be different forms of like operating systems and so on, competition, until one grew so large that it overshadowed all the others. Like Google, too, was once one of many competitors, and now it owns 90% of all searches made worldwide.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that... Sorry, libertarians, but eventually competition does lead to monopolization. Depending on certain markets, more or less, but it's just kind of how things go.
This is actually true. This is why we need regulations.
Arch's commie arc begins as well.
This isn't communist, Carl. This is National Socialist. But no, like...
It's the same thing, Arch, and you know it.
Well, national and international socialism are two slightly different flavors, Dev, okay? We're not some educated horde here that doesn't know the difference.
Okay, so you are basically the brother of the communist.
Yeah, but I dress way better.
Okay, so you are a champagne socialist.
There we go.
Lum. Do you need me to put the feet on the screen again?
Stop!
But no, like, okay, this is actually true, though. Capitalism, unrestrained capitalism, is not actually a good thing. Because there is no morality inherent in profit at all costs, which is why we as a society put restraints on capitalism. We go, ugh, child labor's a bit touch and go, don't you think? Like, yeah, I think that's actually kind of bad. Maybe we should outlaw that. And then we continue down the list like, oh, should you be able to dump poison in the river? Probably not. And so we impose rules and regulations, slowly but surely. And one of those rules that we have is we actually have rules and regulations on companies growing too large. We have like anti-competitive rules, which says like, okay, if this will grant you too much power within the market, you're not actually allowed to buy up this other company, for example. The problem is we haven't been applying any of these. And so now we live in the era of unironic mega corporations. Like, people like cyberpunk is a crazy few. No, cyberpunk is what we're living in right now. It's just that the corporations haven't gotten any military power yet. But we're heading there, don't worry. Or, well, Coca-Cola Death Squads.
The Coca-Cola Death Squads. I mean, there was a past where corporations had military power. I mean, we called them, like, the Dutch East India Company, or like, I think the British had like some various crown corporations that had like militaries backing them. Like, we've done that sort of things before. It usually doesn't end out well. Or like banana republics, where, yeah, it's generally not a good idea.
Yeah, because this is inevitably what kind of happens if corporations are allowed to grow too large and too wealthy. Even if competition does spring up, they will simply just buy the competition or choke the competition out by denying it market access, which is what D&D is doing right now. They are creating a market, which is the closed-off one D&D digital market, and then they are going to go, no, you don't get to participate in this. You don't get to have access to our clientele. And obviously, once you're on one D&D, if you don't maintain that subscription, you lose all of the things. It's kind of the World of Warcraft effect, where people keep logging on to this day because they have friends that play D&D and stuff like that. You have social connections within it.
Mm-hmm.
The corporations just buy off the regulators. Sometimes, yes, Nightmare, sometimes. But that is one of those unavoidable problems which we call corruption, which we theoretically also technically have laws against, except in the United States, of fucking course.
Yeah, I know there are people who say, like, regulation causes monopolies. And, like, it does sometimes, but also sometimes it doesn't, right? It really depends on the product. Depends what we're talking about. Things aren't so simple that one ideology solves everything.
Yes. The question about regulating monopolies is actually a fairly complex one. It's like, you cannot apply the 1800s standards of monopolies to the companies of today, for example. We cannot look at the coal and steel barons who are trading in actual physical goods and compare them to a company like Google. Google may not be a monopoly, but they are a de facto monopoly. And because they possess something that is so very valuable, literal truth, we might need to rein them in a little bit earlier.
All right, nationalize Google. Let's do it.
You know, Dev, I'm not opposed to the idea.
Listen, if Google becomes nationalized, that makes every single YouTuber a government employee.
Well, at least then I'd have some rights. No, like, that is actually an interesting, like wider topic, which we're probably not going to get into today, because I imagine this would be sprawling. But, like, should people have a right to a social media platform? Right? Because all of the discourse is happening right now on social media. It's happening on YouTube, it's happening on Twitter, it's happening on Facebook, etc. And if you are to be banned from these sites, can it not easily be argued that you lose access to a tremendous amount of information that's kind of important to have access to in a modern-day democracy?
I mean, insofar as you have a right to, a phone number and like a phone line, or to use the mail service or like other basic methods of communication, then you should have a right to a social media account. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this goes wider as well. Like, I think you need to have a right to information at that point, because that is, of course, what determines if a democracy is actually functional or not, whether it has a voter base that actually knows what the hell's going on around it. Like, the cats and dog things recently is a very interesting example of this. So you remember the whole, from the debate, right, Dev, where they were talking about how the Haitians were eating the pets?
Yep.
And the moderator jumped in and said, there is no evidence that this is happening, because fact-checking Trump, right?
Yep.
Well, evidence has since come out that they were eating pets. There are, like, pictures of cats and dogs on grills and shit.
Okay, Arch, there's a problem with that. We can go into it if you want. I did a big research deep dive on this. That evidence is not what you think. That'll be in a video either today or maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, depending on how fast Dave edits it. But yeah, that's not what you think it is. The issue, though, with insofar as the debate is concerned, is that it's not the moderator's place to fact check one candidate. Like, it's Kamala's job to fact check Trump, not the moderator's.
That's of course true, but this then kind of leads into the bigger question again: what is truth at this point? Like, unironically, what is truth? Who determines truth? Because does Google determine truth? Right now, Google does determine truth. Because if you Google this, you will get basically nothing but articles, from my side at least, which say that, no, this is totally not true. If you go on Twitter, you will see countless tweets of people going, no, this is true. It's like, okay, where do we go from here?
Right, so I know the two videos you're talking about. So one of them was posted by Chris Rufo, and I'm sure, I don't know if you want to put it on stream, maybe not, but I know you're probably talking about at least this one. This came out this morning, where Chris Rufo says, we've discovered that migrants are in fact eating cats in Ohio. We verified with multiple witnesses and visual cross-references that African migrants in Dayton, the next city over from Springfield, barbecued these cats last summer. So the problem is that in the debate, Trump said that they're eating pets. Haitian migrants are eating pets in Springfield. So one, this is from last summer, not, during the Haitian migrant crisis that's been kicking off in the past couple months. And two, if you look at those animals on the grill, like, do you think those are cats? Because they don't look like cats to me. I don't see a tail. I don't see 4 legs. I see 2. That looks like it's probably a bird of some kind, not someone's cat. Now, I still don't like the fact that, because so far Haitian migrants in Springfield, there's been no evidence of them eating cats and dogs. There is, though, a lot of evidence of them going down to the local town park and just like grabbing a goose and cutting off its head right there, then walking home and grilling up the goose. Which, by the way, you can't do in Ohio because there's some types of geese that are protected animals, so it's already highly illegal. Like, you don't have any sort of hunting permit or anything like that. But these don't look like someone's cats. They look like birds. Maybe chickens, maybe geese or ducks they grabbed from the park. But this video does not substantiate Trump's specific claim. The second one, I think you're probably talking about this one here. Actually, I'll put this in the live links as well. This is from DC Drano, where he says, nothing to see here, just someone catching their neighbor roasting a dog. The neighbor also claimed his cat was missing. The problem with this video is that it's not Haitians. These are Bosnians. These are Bosnians who are doing this. And also, like, I'm not sure, like, is that a dog? I mean, it's some kind of animal for sure. But, like...
that definitely does look... And by the way,
like
chat, I'm not showing this because I have no idea what YouTube's TOS is on fucking dead animals.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like a dog to me.
I think so. Like, this one's a lot more clear cut. That first one doesn't look like cats. This one looks like it's probably a dog. And the thing is like, killing and eating street animals like this is already illegal. You could very easily take this to the police. You get these people charged. Like, this moral panic over it that's currently going viral online and everyone's freaking out about it. Like, obviously it's bad. I'm not going to sit here and say it's good. I'm not even going to necessarily sit here and say it's not happening. It's probably happening in some places. But, like, the next step is go to the cops, get these people arrested, and if applicable, get them deported. Right? There's a wider moral panic around this conversation that I think is somewhat unwarranted.
I think that's a very much so a value judgment, because I would simply say that this is a political expedience, which the left is taking plentiful advantage of as well, whenever possible.
Oh, of course, yeah. So in the video that I will put out, I go over a whole bunch of instances of like leftoids online who are saying it's not happening, or they're saying like, do you think a cat's life is more important than someone who needs to eat? Or they're saying I would try it. Haitian barbecue sounds amazing. Or like just a whole bunch of dumb fucking excuses, right? But then I'll go over a bunch of right wing examples where they're talking about things that might even be true, but they lie about them in the way they overblow them, which they're just shooting themselves in the foot, right? And I'm just like, listen, both of you guys are retarded here. Like, neither of you guys are telling the truth. And it just seems like you're both using
Yes, ma'am.
this
I got a
story.
question. This is a non-emergency.
You're just like cranking it to the maximum possible level just to get as much as you can out of it to go viral online.
Okay, so little Bucky Bus sent me this thing here. This doesn't seem to have any images. So, a new police report from Springfield, Ohio, contradict ABC's claim that there have been no reports of Haitian migrants grabbing geese from the ponds. This is what you mentioned about the geese thing.
Yeah, the ducks and the geese, that is happening in Springfield, Ohio. There's a whole bunch of examples. There's tons of people who like live in Springfield. It's a town of like 60,000 people. So they're posting on TikTok. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen like someone go do this, in the park. There's like a picture of one guy walking home, just holding a goose by the neck, just like walking down the street. So yeah, like the grabbing random wildlife from the park, that seems to be true. The false part of it so far seems to be like this idea that people's pets are widespread being abducted and like just being eaten off the street. That part seems to be false, at least so far. Maybe new evidence will come out, but right now doesn't seem like there's anything.
I know I seen one video on TikTok where this lady was talking about what was it? One of her neighbors that got government assistance with their housing because they're immigrants or whatever.
Was she in a car? Like redheaded girl? Okay.
She would this is a black woman in her house absolutely sobbing because she found her dog's decapitated head in her yard and her neighbor grilling the body.
That's fucking wild, man. Can you send me that if you have it?
If I can find it again, it's like I was disgusted after I was watching it and then I just quickly scrolled away to better videos. If I can find it again, I will send it to you.
All right, thank you. I'll definitely look at it for sure. The issue ultimately is that you can only take these sort of these sort of claims so far, right? Because I could like go hop in a car right now and turn on a camera and talk about the most ridiculous shit that just totally happened to me, guys, and upload the video, right? Like it's valuable evidence, but it's not conclusive evidence.
True, but there's the thing though, because both sides are kind of doing the same thing now. ABC says it isn't happening. Twitter says it is happening. So I value neither one particularly highly at this point.
I mean, videos of actual animal corpses, though it's pretty distasteful, that is at least some evidence. And I tend to trust investigative reports a fair bit. Like if the police come out with like an actual official file and they say, yeah, so we investigated this and we found this, and this, and this, I generally trust that a bit more because they actually might be willing to go to court over it. And that's when it becomes like not just internet bullshit and not just people saying things for clout or people trolling or whatever. But when you start moving towards the legal system, then things become a lot more serious. So they're more likely to be real.
It's like I think a lot of things, at least for the next few months, are probably going to be suppressed because it is an upcoming election, and we'll probably see a lot more information coming out from news outlets, like probably in the first few months of next year, because everything needs to look nice and clean leading up to an election. I've seen it before, especially with yeah. So, we'll have to see what the real actual numbers are, or at least a little more accurate ones once the election is over. Unfortunately.
The entire chat is saying, "Oh my God, Dev, trust the government." It's like, listen, I don't think it's trusting the government. I don't think it's sucking off Joe Biden. When your local police officer comes over and like pokes around a bit and says, "Okay, well, I didn't find any evidence of this happening." Those two things are not the same. Stop pretending like they're the same, guys. Come on. You can be a bit more reasonable than that.
But Dev does trust the government. That part is true.
No. I don't inherently trust or distrust the government. It's just one. It's just one source of many with their own agenda as well. But it's not necessarily bad. It just is.
And this all came from a discussion about Dungeons and Dragons that moved into one about regulations, that moved into one about Google and truth.
Yeah, the whole post-truth era is an interesting one because I do occasionally just meet people who are full mask off. Like there's a guy named Brent who's occasionally in my chat. He's occasionally in your chat too, Arch. And he doesn't like do any of these like pretzel twisting moves about being like, "Oh, you just trust the government," or "Oh, you dev trust." No. He just says straight up, "Listen, truth doesn't matter. What matters is that my side wins, and so no one cares what's actually true out there anymore. And I will simply say whatever it is that moves power more in my direction and takes away from my enemies." And it's like, that's pretty evil, but at least you're honest about it. And it's kind of refreshing to see the honesty like come out. I've met a few people as well who have said, "Listen, the reason that we voted for Trump is because we actually think Trump will overthrow democracy eventually. He'll just dismantle the whole thing, and we want that." It's like, okay, you have your beliefs and you're at least being honest about it, and it's refreshing to actually hear it, just straight up. It's like, okay, now we can have a real conversation about these ideas and not just watch you squirm around about how you don't actually hold this belief, but you kind of do, but you kind of don't. You know what I mean? And when it comes to the post-truth world, there is, especially you mentioned earlier in the stream about AI, Arch. Imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years time when AI can make perfect videos. If someone wants you to believe that Haitian migrants are eating dogs and cats they're stealing from people's homes, even if they're actually not doing it at all in reality, all it's going to take is like a dozen viral AI made videos that are convincing enough, and the game's over. The game's already half over at this point. I think that's what they're talking about when they talk about the post-truth world, is just that it is getting significantly harder to actually discern what reality is because people are living online and they're just having certain segments of reality drip fed to them through their own social media feed.
Yes, that is why let me see if I can find it again now. There we go. There, I named it Lum Lum Feet.
Oh, come on.
This is why Lum Lum Feet is reality now.
Lum is not real.
But yeah,
Lum has tail.
This is a genuine, unironic problem, and the push for AI is going to be like if it becomes fully corporatized, like owned by the corporations, then we're not going to have a whole lot of entertainment anymore, and there's not going to be much of an entertainment scene anymore, as there will literally be like a Wizards of the Coast's content farm somewhere in Idaho that's just producing 10,000 new adventures every 5 minutes. But at least there'll be some sort of centralization. It'll be mostly used for producing vast quantities of D&D and or hentai. If it becomes fully publicly available, we kind of run into the problem for the opposite side of the world, where it becomes so commonplace that anyone can make in anything they want. And again, that whole access to information thing becomes a problem. So, okay, you have access to information, you have access to Twitter, Facebook, etc., the news. You have a right to have access to all of these things. Now, figure out which one of these 5,000 deep AI-generated fake thingies is the truth.
Yeah, I don't know how to solve this problem. Do you need to make AI illegal? Is that the only way we solve this problem?
I mean, honestly, I'm leaning more and more towards that solution, because this is like not a power that we are capable of fucking wielding right now with any sort of remote safety. But at the same time, that really does feel like oh my god, you're going to trust people with automobiles? Do you have any idea how many people they'll run over each year?
I mean, that ended up being true. There are a lot of accidents, but also the benefits are so, immense. We just kind of ignore it, We do our best to make the number as low as possible, but it's still pretty high.
Yeah, the benefit of this is pretty high too. Like, I could have a dedicated little AI that just goes like, AI, make more pictures of Lum Lum licking feet. And like, okay, boss, 500 this time? Yeah.
God damn it.
But yeah, I'm not sure how to solve this problem.
What I am sure of, though, is that you shouldn't give it to Hasbro. That I am very
Fair
sure
enough.
of. That is the one thing I'm absolutely certain of. If we're going to create generative AI of this type, at least don't let Hasbro have the monopoly over it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe so. This kind of reminds me of the seatbelt conversation. Like back in the 1970s, I think it was the early 70s, before seatbelts became mandatory to wear legally. Um, there was like this kind of like mini seatbelt uprising in the more right-leaning states in the United States, where they said, "Listen, I'm not gonna have the government tell me in the name of safety that I must wear a seatbelt. It's not gonna fucking happen. I'll do whatever I want. You know, the fuck the government kind of thing, right?" Which is the kind of attitude you expect from some Americans. So fair enough. Um, but I mean, seatbelts are obviously good. They do obviously save lives. And here we are 50 years later. The laws passed, they were enforced, and now no one cares anymore, right? So there are some things that you can actually boil the frog on, and it does work. The issue, though, is when you boil the frog on the wrong thing. You can get people used to some terrible shit that is actually quite bad and not as innocuous as wearing a seatbelt. So the issue, as always, it's always what you're doing with it, not necessarily that the thing that you're doing is bad. You know what I mean?
Also, as a final pro-Trump message here, it was Trump who made it illegal to eat fucking pets in the first place.
Oh, really?
Yep, apparently, the 2018 Farm Bill, which he signed into law, is the bill that makes it illegal to eat, like, cats and dogs.
Oh, okay, well, there we go.
Interesting.
Well, then, all of you guys who are taking videos, apparently, of people grilling up dogs and cats, it is time to take that video to the police and have them charged under this act. That's the way to go.
Unless it's a rabbit. You can still eat rabbits.
I assume so, yeah.
And to wrap it up in a nice, happy note, here's a picture of Dev attempting to escape Fat Camp.
Oh, okay.
That was quite nice. Right, let me do a few super chats before we do our second funny topic of today, which will include bestiality, one of Dev's favorite topics, according to Lum Lum. It's too Brutus. The real Zartax, daily reminder to play Abenar, embrace the light of Surail, let no corner of Halan remain in darkness. Foreign words, many foreign words. So to Firewater, Sir Archley, the late, also question for the Californian Latinx. Have you played Demon's Roots?
I'm not Californian, and I'm not Latinx, and no, I have not. Just send me a Steam link. I shall take a look.
Yes. Send her things. Primarily feet simulators. She enjoys that.
No.
Walking simulators.
I think Arch is projecting his own kink on me because he doesn't want to take accountability of him liking feet.
Arch is establishing a narrative, and he's doing so with considerable success already.
That's what happens when you come on this show, is that just actual disinformation becomes the norm about you. You just have to get used to it.
I will just have to adjust as so. And,
this is the thing.
You know.
Dustborn makes the argument that you can determine reality by a big enough lie. Well, I am the Dustborn Dev.
Oh man, you know what? I'm not completely finished with that game yet, but soon I'm gonna have a fun time doing a video on that game because there's so much to like really get into. There's a lot of meat on that bone, you know, of just nonsense.
Oh, I know if you like, I don't know how long you are going to, how much you're going to deep dive into Dustborn. But if you want to get more information and stuff on it, I can link you a video by Armchair Expert that actually went into a fucking huge ass deep dive on the entire game. It's insane.
All right, I'm gonna make sure to link it. I'm interested.
Yep.
I will do no such thing. That game was anti-energy. I will never return to it ever again. I have never before had a genuinely hard time staying awake whilst playing a video game, but that one, oh boy.
Oh, I know that feeling for sure. It's always demoralizing to play it, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about it.
Turk Roach, Arch, have you been following the development reports for the Coffin of Andy and Lele on Steam so far? If yes, what do you think? I'm still suffering through the rest of your Dustborn stream. Do think it was worth playing it for any reason? Well, it was certainly monetarily rewarding, but it's like...
That's true.
Dustborn is like an anti-fun video game. Like, it sucks the energy out of you. Like, it's remarkable. Particularly the last leg of the game has like 30 minutes of like cutscenes where you keep wondering, is the game done? Is the game done? Is the credits about to roll? And they just never do. It's like it's teasing you with the idea that the shore is just right there and then refusing you to get to it.
Well, we on our playthrough, we're at the we just finished up the Kennedy Institute place in the heartland of America, which I know is like 3/4 of the way through the game. It feels like the end of the game though. Like, it feels like it should be done, but it's like, nope, there's still 3 hours left, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
It is a very dumb game, and at the end of the day, the story makes very little sense either. That's probably the worst part.
Hold on, wait, did you finish it, Arch?
I finished it. I'm not going to tell you about it because I want to remember.
Okay. No, I understand. But I mean, I think there's a lot to talk about. Spoilers for anyone in the chat who cares. Okay, spoilers for anyone in the chat who cares. I think there's a lot to talk about regarding this game when it comes down to the whole proto language that existed before humanity, and then how it relates to fascism and the big lie, and also how they're never going to say this, but it accidentally relates to all the progressives as well. Like, there's a lot to talk about there, I think.
Oh yeah,
it'll be a
because
fun video.
At the end of the day, they present the disinformation thing as like bad things. That's in the anarcho-primitivist village. That is not an anarcho-primitivist village in the slightest.
Yes.
But at the end of the game, you are disinformation.
Yep. That's the whole point. It's like the purest anti-truth game.
Yes, where literally anti-truth is what you become. Like, it's... Again, I'm pretty sure this is some sort of right-wing psyop game. I think that 2016 broke the developer, and this is what he created as like a revenge fantasy against the left. Sandoom for $300. Jesus Christ. Thank you.
Jesus.
I told you, Arch, I would fund this. I hope you enjoy listening to Fallout Equestria for it. For it is, to me at least, a very good story. For what is essentially a crossover fanfic of two settings that shouldn't work, but does. Thank you, Arch, for making good content. Alright, that does indeed fund Fallout fucking Equestria. Right, okay.
Have fun with that. You know, if you wanted to play like Fallout mod stuff, you can always play the amazing Fallout London.
Yeah, well, Dev, it's not because they want me to play Fallout, Dev.
Yeah, it's the Equestria part, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm currently on my third paid request for Fallout Equestria Hearts of Iron mod. So they've already started a fund for a fourth one. For some reason, chat really likes ponies. Alright, well...
You brought this upon yourself.
I'll see when I can get started with Fallout Equestria then. Hopefully it is actually good.
Dry Bread asked, is Fallout London good? Yeah, it's basically a Fallout fan game using the Fallout 4 engine set in London, in the UK. And it's very good. It's like a full ass game. You know, it's good.
But does it have ponies?
No, Arch, sorry, it cannot appeal to your fetish.
Okay, in that case, chat is not interested. Detended. So, Mr. Arch, how long before the US government targets Elon Musk or anti-competitor behavior? or anti-competitive behavior. Dev government loves to deal with one company over many individual companies. That is partly true. Yeah, well, yes. Now, they can't target Musk because he owns a significant portion of the American space program. And that's the only reason.
I mean, they still want to try to target him.
Yeah, but not seriously. Like, he has too much leverage over them for the moment. I'm sure that will change one day, though. Boog, Johnny has done worse with the negative zone. I don't know what that means.
Neither do I.
Zontar, AMD abandoning high-end GPUs is the worst time to do it, given Intel ate their lunch on the low-end ones and are going to overtake them in the mid-level. But does anyone care about AMD? Listen, just buy the new PS5, okay? It's like $700 and it has ray tracing.
So, looking at the stats of the PS5, it is roughly on par with a PC of equivalent price, which is interesting. However, it's not a PC, so you can't do all the PC things with it. It's like, well, it should be cheaper then, shouldn't it? Because even though it's the same physical hardware, you have less access to things you could do with it.
Yeah, as Lum Lum would say, can it find feet for me?
Oh my god.
Man. I mean, AMD makes really good CPUs, Arch. They're better than Intel CPUs.
Oh.
I've been consistently a Team Red person for like over 20 years now.
I know.
I didn't know that you knew.
There we go. We put up the Dev Red flag.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh no,
Listen,
Dev.
Team
Everyone
Red-
knows that
Team
you're on
Red-
Team Red.
Team Red means AMD, Team Green means NVIDIA, and Team Blue means Intel in computer speak, you fucker.
Sure. You keep telling yourself that, Team Red. Doman says, hello, Lumbum.
Hello.
Shadowfox2300, nope, my problem. You can't... Nope, my problem. You can't enjoy a good glass, maybe. Be your boy Muhammad needs to learn how to have fun. Ah, yes, that was the original topic. And you know, like, it's really simple. The solution to this problem is let the old people who want wine with their cheese drink wine with their cheese. Let everybody else who doesn't want to drink wine with their cheese drink something else. It's such a non-issue.
Yep.
Sean King, I'm designing a Yule Ale for work. As a Norwegian, do you have any knowledge suggestions on Yule Ale? No. The only thing I know about brewing alcohol is that my grandfather brewed moonshine, and he would always put a raisin in the bin, because then it was legally, technically called wine, and it was legal to brew wine, but not moonshine. That's all I know. Hugo Fugi, member for 4 months. Sand people bad. Sand people also gatekeep piggies. Wink, wink. They do try to gatekeep the piggies. Sujad, why not accuse the government official of being offensive? Also, Lumi, how have you found the games I recommended? I can recommend more if you like.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep sending those game recommendations. I throw all of them on a list.
Oh, pile them up around her feet. Johnson Smith. Howdy, Arch, Lumi, and Dev. Welcome, Dev. So happy that chat's favorite friend has now shown up. For Dev is always right, and pokes chat. Oh, God. Now the narrative has taken on life on its own. Ziloxon Doppelganger tickles Lumi's cute feet. Oh, oh.
Yeah, well, both of those narratives are coming around. Dev is always right. It's going to be a thing now.
I don't know. There's like one person repeating that. Needs a lot more to create narrative. My counter narrative is stronger. An old and gold one. I'll pull up that one instead. I like the one with the satellite dish coming out of Dev's rear. Sean King, what are 2 things you guys disagree with someone you respect, and what are 2 things you agree with someone you do not respect? I agree with Dev that regulation is good, and I agree with Lum Lum that feet is bad.
Good. The narrative is reversing itself.
No, because I'm referring to feet as in the measurement unit.
Hey, wait a second. In this example, that means that you don't respect us, though.
No, two things. So you will never know if it was one or the other.
Well, no, but the question is, you have to say something that you think people are right about if you don't respect them, or you have to say things that people are wrong about if you do respect them. And because you said things that you think we're right about, that means you don't respect us.
I don't know, Dev. Disagree
Also,
with
he asked
someone
me-
you respect with, and two things here with someone you do not respect. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He asked me this, and I was like, I don't fucking know, dude.
Two things you guys disagree with someone you respect. Disagree with someone you respect. I mean, Dev on most things. There are a lot of things I disagree with Dev on. But I do still think Dev is a decent human being. I'm just trying to think of now. What has Dev said recently that was wrong? Yeah, he's wrong about inflation. That was one thing. The economic doctrine, not the pornography, Lum Lum. Calm down.
What?
And I disagree with him on the usage of horse penis, as he's created quite the collection of them. And two things you agree with someone you do not respect. What was it Hassan was right about recently?
Hold on, I was away for all that. I was getting some pizza. Listen, I'm right about all those things, Arch. You have to understand.
Yes. Hassan was right on Dr. Disrespect? No, Mr. Beast. That was the person. Yes, Hassan was right about Mr. Beast. There you go, that's one.
How so? What did you say?
Oh, he was one of the people who was like, there's something wrong with Mr. Beast unblinding like 1,000 people. And I was like, that's retarded. But it turns out that Mr. Beast was actually kind of evil, so there you go.
Was he? I haven't kept up with the story. What did he do?
Oh, shielding pedophiles and the usual. Using exploitative
okay.
marketing tactics. Not nice things. Another thing I agree with someone I disrespect. Well, Vorsh clearly believes that lolly isn't pedophilia, so there you go. There's another one. Otherwise, he surely wouldn't have such a large folder of them. Right, Dev? Right.
Man, Arch is coming out as pro pedo and pro Vosh. What a crazy stream.
Pro lolly. Well, pro is a strong word for my position on lolly, but at the very least, I maintain that it's a drawing, not a child.
Yeah.
There you go. Those are my agree and disagree withs.
I mean, hey, cute and funny is cute and funny.
The real Zartax. Of course Dev wants all the candy for himself. He does like to hog the candy, it is true. And by Hayden, Hail Arch, Lum Lum, and Psy Dev. Poor Dev.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Boog, the fish taco has spoiled. Toss her into the trash. She is becoming a little bit too much
No.
common, it's true.
I have not.
Nicholas Contour, sharing candy is very Marxist of you, Lumi. It kind of is. Like, Lumi's like, oh, other children have candy. Lumi believes this is the government's candy now.
No.
Lumi believes it just belongs to the collective. And Shadowfox 23 said, oh, toss the fish back into the Gulf of Mexico. She's been tainted by the Herald of Nurgle. Dev. There is a degree of truth to this. We shall have to watch the fish very, very closely. Right. Now, as an interlude to the other funny, I happened across an article from 2006, which I'm going to bring up now because I find it amusing, and that's the only reason why. Condoms are too large for Indian men. And now you know.
Oh.
Yep.
Huh.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
I guess that's why they make up for it by just going all out when it comes to AI-generated images of women on the internet.
Maybe. The Indian Council of Medical Research I'm surprised there is such a thing. A leading state-run center said in its initial findings from a two-year study on whether or not condoms are too large. Okay, showed 60% of men in the financial capital Mumbai had penises about 1 inch shorter than those condoms catered for.
Huh.
So the average is like 6, right? Isn't it 5.5 to 6 inches? If these guys are 1 to 2 inches shorter, that means like the shortest possible is going to be like 3.5, which is kind of a rough break.
Well, Lum, do you feel bad for the population of India?
I mean, hey, the attention is being taken off of Asians for a bit now.
There you go. One of the reasons for failure up to 20% of condoms is the association of the size of the condom to the erect penis. I just found that funny. Okay.
India is just a fucked up place, man. There's so many weird stories that come out of it. Like recently, a story went viral where like there was a woman in an ambulance, and she was going to the hospital with her husband, and the ambulance driver fucking hucks the guy out of the ambulance. He just dies on the road, and then he just rapes the wife. And it's like,
oh, I heard about that.
yeah, what is this like? This fucking society these people have built, where it's like comically evil the way some of these people act when it comes to women. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, they've gone through more shit than us, Dev. They've realized the truth about females, whilst we are still struggling in the dark.
Jesus Christ, Arch.
We must embrace India. It knows not what it does. But from one meme about this to another, Marvel is doing things. In this case, it is a love story between it's Johnny Storm. Is that his name? The Human Torch?
Yeah.
Well, he has found himself an alien, and he has decided to try to have sex with this alien because he is an explorer.
So this is weird.
You don't say.
I mean, I've seen a lot of this shit on like random porn sites before. Usually, like, you're scrolling looking for something else, and you're on like rule34.com or something, and there's always some weird tentacle shit. So it's like, okay, this is strange. I guess it's stranger because it's in mainstream now. It's not like in a side site. You know what I mean?
I suppose.
You know, they could have just made like a hot blue girl or a green girl or an orange girl. Didn't have to be this weird thing.
Well, I think that is part of the reason why people are a little bit confused, because I'm pretty sure Johnny Storm has fucked aliens before, but they've usually been of the humanoid variant. Whereas now, he's seducing some sort of triceratops grub thing.
Huh.
I'm not really sure about the backstory behind all of this.
I mean, I was gonna ask, you know, how do you know if it's even female? This doesn't matter, does it?
Well, I know it's female because they've drawn its lashes long, kind of.
Oh, yes, very good.
Oh my God, that's anti-feminist essentialism. These people are bigots.
That might be so, but it is, as Dev and now Lum would say, female coded. So, Johnny Storm is lying here, and he's asking his new pet alien how he can have sex with it, via the following riveting dialogue. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking of asking you the same thing, but how do we? And the alien simply responds, come on, you're an explorer. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
And that face he has, dude. Like the wide eyes and the smile. It's like, this is weird, man.
Is
Also, the
this
whole
weird?
like figure it out. He goes like, okay. He starts poking around. He accidentally like does the equivalent of kicking someone in the balls.
Which
He's
hole
like,
is
I
it
didn't fucking
again?
know.
Do we even know for sure if it has holes? I mean, it has a mouth, I guess. It has neck tentacles.
Listen, there's one thing that men can always default to. You just rub your penis on it.
Dev has already found the answer to the problem. He's not sure either. And this is mainstream comics now. You remember back in the day when they had like the what was it, the ESRB or ERB or whatever, that thing?
It's not ESRB because that's the video games one, right?
Oh,
You're
okay.
talking about the Comics Code Authority, CCA.
That might be it, yeah, because there was some sort of like code of conduct thing. Yeah, Comics Code Authority. That's the one. Okay, so this, for those of you who know where, the Comics Code Authority was basically a set of bulletin points showing what you could and could not show in comics. And this was to prevent government legislation, because the government was looking at comics as a rising form of entertainment and going, there seems to be a lot of weird shit in this stuff. Maybe we should intervene. And to avoid that, they created this voluntary code of conduct, in essence. That if you signed up to it, you were a moral comic. And it largely prevented regulation for a very long time, as it was a voluntary form of self-regulation. So crime should never be presented in such a way to create sympathy for the criminal. It's probably wise. Scenes of excessive violence shall be prohibited. And then Lumi cried. Criminals should not be presented so as to be rendered glamorous or to occupy a position which creates a desire for emulation. One might argue that they have failed that one to some extent. Policemen, judges, government officials, and respected individuals shall not be represented in such a way as to create disrespect for established authority, and so it goes on, right? Including things like nudity in any form is prohibited, as is indecent or undue exposure, and you don't have any rape scenes and stuff like that, or sexual perversions. Now, I think this is probably a relatively decent example of what one might refer to as a sexual perversion.
Yep. The issue ultimately with the Comics Code Authority is that you can actually have good stories that violate some of these rules. And in
Yes.
fact, I think you probably making this mandatory would be bad. But also, you can't exist in a world where it's only shades of gray. You still need to have some stories where it's just like there's good guys and bad guys, and just so you know what good and bad looks like. You know, this is the whole you can subvert expectations only if you've already established expectations first conversation we had like a month ago. It's the same kind of thing.
Yes, and the thing with having it be a voluntary code means that you could potentially have a little bit of bend and break in it, right? Because it wouldn't be a regulation, it would be a code of generalized conduct, where you could potentially make the argument that in a story, you would violate some of these rules so long as it is done in a way that is still in keeping with the spirit of the code of conduct. Now, I'm pretty sure the Conan comics were not a part of this back in the day, but the character Red Sonja, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Just real quick before you put anything else up, Arch. I don't want this to be lost. Artemis just super chatted saying that looks like Arch, and I'm looking at that picture on screen right now. That does look like you.
Buckamus.
This is Arch and his alien GF.
Ban Buckamus.
Arch loves the Xenos, guys.
Artists, you know what to do. You just gotta throw a pair of glasses on and it's perfect.
Lum Lum really wants that feet pic to be spread wider, I see. But to return to the point, Red Sonja, do either of you know her origin story?
Nope.
She was gang raped by like 30 dudes.
Huh.
Usually an origin story is how you came about.
Yeah, that is her origin story.
She was gang raped into existence?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Ironically, I shit you not. Her like family was attacked, her entire family was killed, she herself was raped, and then she prayed to a goddess whose name I've forgotten now, to give her power. And the goddess did just that, and said that you would, like, no man will lay with you without your consent ever again, or something to that end. And so she started killing people. And she killed all of the rapists, and she killed all of the men thereafter that tried to get into her chainmail panties, I guess. So her origin story is literally India the comic book variant.
Yeah, this is your classic rape revenge story that you see a lot in movies. I know what's going on.
And uniquely, I believe she's the only female character in the Conan comic book canon that Conan never managed to get into the panties of. But this would obviously then violate the comic code of authority, right? Or a comic code of conduct. But as you say, Dev, you can have stories that are good that might still have nasty elements. So having too much of a code of authority is bad because it restricts creativity. But on the other hand, having absolutely no code of conduct whatsoever either is equally bad. Like, there's a sweet spot to be discovered here, and we've missed it by quite some margin.
Yep. The issue is that, like, people say we're pushing the boundaries, and it's like, well, okay, that can be fun sometimes, but to push boundaries requires that you have boundaries to push. And if there are no boundaries, well, then it's no longer interesting. It's just weird.
It is. Because I guarantee you, whoever came up with this storyline with Johnny Storm and his new alien pet/girlfriend probably has some interesting fetishes of his own. I doubt this came about as an entirely organic concept, shall we say? Comic books. We need to return to the age of self-regulation. Imagine, for example, if Google had actually stuck to their own regulation of not being evil. Imagine that. We would not be in the position that we are today, and yet, here we are.
The ESRB is also a self-regulation thing, too, for video games. Like, after the Mortal Kombat and Night Trap, and I think Doom in the early 1990s, there's all these senators that, like, brought Nintendo and Sega and, like, computer publishers, brought them all in to Congress, where they all testified about the nature of their industry. And they agreed to come together and make the ESRB to avoid actual regulation.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, again, the ESRB, isn't that mandatory, though?
No.
Isn't
it's
it?
Just that it was enforced the same way as the Comics Code Authority was back in the day. It is how it basically works is that you can always not have your game regulated, but stores won't sell it, and that's the issue. Is that no one will sell your game. So Walmart won't take it, and GameStop won't take it, and Steam won't take it. You have to have a rating on your game. So all the big publishers and all the big outlets will not sell your game if it's not rated. And that's how the Comics Code Authority also worked, is that places would not sell comics that were not rated by the CCA. Eventually, though, I think the CCA finally died because Spider-Man basically said, I think it was Spider-Man, they basically said, we're going to do some stories that would violate the CCA, but they're good stories. And Spider-Man's big and popular enough that there's no way they're not going to sell our comic anyway. And so they did it, and yeah, they gave in. They sold Spider-Man because it was popular enough.
Let's see. When Stan Lee and Spider-Man had a Fred Rogers moment with the Comics Code authorities. Yeah, it looks like you're probably right about that. Ah, yeah, because that's right. Because Spider-Man was one of the first comics where the cops were kind of like not on his side, wasn't that?
Yep. Because with Batman, it's always like Gordon's always like kind of with him for the most part. Even if they have some disagreements, they're always like on the same team. But with Spider-Man, the cops were trying to stop Spider-Man.
Yeah, so that would go up against the idea that you can't represent law enforcement in a negative light. Apparently, the Spider-Man was created as a one-shot character to begin with, and then he got retardedly popular, and then eventually they created the full run, and now I think he's still the single most popular comic book character out there. Well, that makes sense, because he is now also officially in comic book canon been cuckolded, and as we all know, every good story has NTR in it.
Wait, has he been?
Yep.
I must have missed this. What happened?
After the whole thing where Thanos snaps his fingers and wipes out like half the world or something, he was one of the people who disappeared, and Mary Jane found herself a new boyfriend and had a family and everything.
Oh.
And then Spider came back, of course, and yeah, that was awkward.
Hmm.
Oh, well, okay. Here, just real quick, Arch, I have an image that I would like you to put up if you don't mind. If that's okay with you.
It depends on the image, Dev.
It will be fine, okay?
Famous last words.
Okay. Here it is, Arch.
Yes.
I just want you to understand that all the same colors are used. As per Photoshop, all the same colors are used. So I think that's actually you, Arch.
I don't think I like this narrative very much, Dev.
Arch the Xeno lover. It's here. And it's queer, you could even say.
I don't know. It looks feminine to me. Therefore, at the very least, it's not queer.
Listen, it's still queer. No, it's queer coded. Let me put it that way.
I don't know. I reject your communist definition of this. Queer coded, both of you. Disgusting.
Wait, Arch, is this your self-insert character in the end? Or, like, were you writing on this side? Is that what's going on?
Wait, hold on. So that's why Arch has been asking so much money for the Witcher game. It's because he wanted himself in the new Fantastic Four comic. Oh.
I am going to do something relatively horrible to both of you at some point in the very near future.
Someone in the chat's asking why your glasses are gone in the picture. It's because Arch's GF like sensually took them off before they started kissing.
Damn it. I have... Oh, God. Hold on. I have one of those really mean drawings of Dev somewhere. Hold on. I asked Albine Fox to draw this like a year ago or so, and I thought it was too mean. And now I need to find it, because now it's not too mean anymore. Now it's perfectly fine. God, where is it?
Hold on, I get my first definitive, decisive optics win, and now you're bringing out the big guns.
Yep. If you haven't learned by now, Dev, I can be rather petty sometimes. God damn it, I can't find it. Albine has drawn too much furry characters for me over the years. I don't like it. God damn. Okay. Well, I'll just bring up the Lum feet again for a little bit instead.
God damn it.
If I can't get at Dev just yet, I can get at you. But also, final topic of today for the major ones. I take it you paid some attention to Ubisoft current position.
Hmm. I have not really paid attention to the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing specifically, but I am fucking balls deep in Star Wars Outlaws, and it is terrible.
So Star Wars Outlaws was really bad. And not just really bad in like a, release perspective. It was so bad that it actually resulted in Ubisoft's stock to be downgraded on the investment market.
Oof. What's it at now?
Right now, it's basically irrecoverable. It has arrived at the point where nobody wants to buy it, and the investors themselves are asking for Ubisoft to buy them out in order to get back something on their investment.
Wow.
Oh
So
yeah,
let's see.
I heard investors wanted Ubisoft to go private as well.
Yep. No, I was looking at this actually, um, and I sent it over to Craig because I know that he's going to do something on Assassin's Creed soon. But basically, there's like an internal war currently happening between the director of Ubisoft and the shareholders, because the shareholders are like, you're fucking destroying the company, and the investors are like, no, my artistic vision, or the directors. I'm thinking about it, it's like, when was the last truly good Ubisoft game, right? Like, I've heard good things about the black race swapped Prince of Persia with the guy named Sargon in it. He was like a black guy, which doesn't really fit into the Prince of Persia canon, but whatever. The gameplay itself apparently is good. Um, I know the Mario and Rabbids games were very well received, but like because that was like a Nintendo crossover, so of course Nintendo's going to like demand a certain level of quality. They were financially successful too, but like anything else, like any of their other flagship titles, they've all been shit. But beyond those games, what the fuck has Ubisoft even done in the past like 5 years?
So Ubisoft is basically kept afloat on the back of Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which did fairly well, and sort of The Division. The Tom Clancy's The Division, those free-to-play sort of kind of, but not really games.
Yep, I know what you mean.
And Anno 1800, which for a city builder was a pretty big success. Everything else big they've tried has not done well. The race swap Prince of Persia did not do very well. In fact, they're working on a remaster of the old Prince of Persia now, which is kind of funny.
Like from 1979 or whatever.
Yep.
The really ancient one. Yeah.
Sands of
The
Time
thing is,
one,
though,
I think.
is that okay. So the GameCube one, Sense of Time, right.
Yes.
Because there was like a series of like old arcade games and like Atari games that were Prince of Persia, and then the series kind of died for a while, and then they brought it back on the GameCube. Well, no, the issue though is like the Prince of Persia race swap one. I don't think it did very well financially, but it is a good game. Like it is a quality game in terms of the gameplay. But I mean, whenever we have these conversations about companies and gaming and stuff, there's always two conversations happening at once, right? And they're kind of related and kind of separate. And they are, is the company making enough money to survive? And oftentimes they're not, and so they're just like sinking. And then also, is the company making good games? And oftentimes they're not. And those two things are often linked together. But sometimes you have a bad game that does really well for some reason, and you have a good game that does really poorly for some reason. Just how it is.
Yep. And the thing is, too, it's been going for a very long time. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, was set to be a cash cow, because it's Avatar. But again, Avatar is a very weird franchise, because as big as it is, it has no cultural impact. And so the game had no market base. It too apparently was a halfway decent game, and it was fairly faithful to the universe, but nobody wanted to play it because beyond the movies, nobody gives a shit about Avatar.
Well, I think it's also because the just like it was 12 years between the first and second movie, and now they're like, oh, let's bring Avatar back and make it into like a multiverse kind of thing, and like just have like a bunch of shit. And it's like, well, no one cares anymore. You should have done that 10 years ago.
Yep. They also released Beyond Good and Evil Remaster recently, which did alright, but it's too small of a game and too old. Especially as Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still, nobody knows fucking diddly dick about it.
Yep. I remember like maybe a couple months ago where I said you need to play Beyond Good and Evil because it's one of those old classic games that's really, really good. You know,
chat has never so much as donated $1 towards it, so I'm safe, Dev.
Like Shadows of the Damned is also an old classic game you should play. But no, Beyond Good and Evil is one of those old games that's very, very good, but it's one of those like cult classics, right? And I was really excited when they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, and it's been in development hell for like 15 years. And recently, the director of the game just fucking died of old age. So like, well, I guess they're not fucking making it anymore. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is not coming out at this point. Like, it's one of those games that will just be quietly forgotten about. The project's been restarted like half a dozen times at this point. It's kind of ending up like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Where there's just constant restarts and constant rewrites, and everyone leaves the team, and a new team is brought in, and it doesn't work out, and like that's what that is the current development cycle of Beyond Good and Evil 2. Is like it's not coming out.
It's kind of looking like it, and so yeah, Ubisoft doesn't have a whole lot of hits in their history, and if you look at the stock prices, you can go for like the 5-year breakdown, and you will see that for 5 years. Ubisoft has lost 83% of its total market value. That is not good.
Yeah. And the issue is, if you go back to like the late 2000s, they had tons of hits under their belt, right? Those 3 Prince of Persia games on the GameCube, PS2, Xbox, they were all great. The first few Assassin's Creeds were all amazing. Everyone loved those games. Like Ubisoft was a company on the rise in the late 2000s.
DEI has taken care of that.
I don't think it's just DEI, but that's probably part of it, yeah.
It's a significant part of it. And they don't have a whole lot of big names in the work. Like, Beyond Good and Evil 2, it's probably dead, probably not going to happen. They've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is almost certainly going to be an unmitigated disaster.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
And they've got a new Heroes of Might and Magic, Olden Era, which actually does look like old school Heroes, but it's got that cartoony art style that I immediately kind of don't like. Because Heroes of Might and Magic, it's always had a certain, like, art style-y flair to it, you know, like a characteristic style, but I would never call it outright cartoonish either. And often when I see cartoonish art style, what that tells me is that they don't have the artistic personality to create something either of their own and unique or something higher quality. So they aimed for something easier to make.
Oh, I just realized why Ubisoft's still around. It's because of Just Dance. They
Just
pump out
Dance.
those
Oh,
games
right.
every fucking year, and like every single soccer mom buys it. Every single like young kid loves that shit. Here to Just Dance, and Arch.
You were about to call me Naomi there.
I was actually, yes.
I have not, but looking at the screenshot of it, I think it looks absolutely fucking disgusting and I hate it.
Yep, Just Dance is a casual game where you dance on screen, and it plays a bunch of modern music, and it's like they put out a new one every year, and it sells for fucking millions because like every child wants it, and every like middle-aged wine mom wants it, and it's just one of those casual games that just brings in shit tons of money.
Yep.
Not enough, though. And the only other big title is the next Anno game set in ancient Rome. And that one will sell like crazy if they manage to do it any justice, because people are fucking mad for Rome stuff. But is that enough to save this company? I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it will continue like a long, slow collapse, basically.
I think the collapse is here. I think Shadows will come out. I think it will cause an yet further drop to the stock prices. And I think the demands for the company to go private will increase. And if they go private, they have to buy out the investors, basically, for roundabout market price. And if there's anything left of the studio after that, they have got some serious trimming to do. Like, they've got to cut personnel, they've got to cut the people who couldn't make good games, and they've got to then really double down on making something that people want to play. Otherwise, it's going to straight up die. And that's even if it manages to survive the transition back to a private corporation, and they aren't simply just sold off for parts to pay off the investors.
But how much do you know about Ubisoft and like its founding and the people behind it, Arch? You know the story there?
Not a whole lot. Do tell.
Okay, so the public face of the company is a French name that I can't quite pronounce, Yves Guillemot. But like, if you've seen this guy in he does a lot of like press releases, and he's at E3 every year. It's a face that you know when you see him, and he has like a very kind of goofy French accent whenever he speaks in English. But it was a family business. It was him and like other members of his family, and they kind of became, you know, this rather rich tech family in France off the back of Ubisoft's success. And the family is still owned the family still owns 15% of Ubisoft. 10% of it is owned by Tencent, and then the rest of it is all just like a bunch of private, like, you know, individual holders of stocks, right? Like, I wonder. I'm almost wondering if it's the founding family that has to go, right? Because even all the people who founded the corporation, after it went public, they all became like higher ups in the corporation, and they're game developers and they're CEOs, and they're working on the big picture ideas. So a lot of the problems of the direction of the company come from the original founders. This isn't a situation where like a new person comes in and takes over an old IP or an old institution and then like twists it in some new direction and destroys it. No. These are the original guys who are like actually ruining their own creation. So I almost have to wonder like if fresh blood's actually needed here.
Then the company must burn, Dev. Simple
Maybe
as.
But yeah, basically, like this is kind of a very common story of, you get like a bunch of people. Sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's family members. They found a business, they have some big ideas, they work hard, it works out, their business absolutely blows up, and then as you get like, you know, 4 decades in, those same people, they're now a lot older, they're different, and they kind of let everything go to shit. You know, and you hear that story a lot too.
Yep. And Ubisoft has had a very slow and steady decline. Mm-hmm. Ooh, finally. I found the picture that was too mean to release about Dev a year ago.
Oh.
But now, after today's ArchCast, it's not too mean anymore. There we go.
That's pretty good, actually. That's kind of funny. Is that me as a mole rat?
Yep, as a mole rat, because they gather other animals' fur.
That's funny, man.
There, now we've taken revenge on Dev. Still too mean to put up on Twitter, I think, but the Lumi feed picture is definitely hitting Twitter tonight. There's no doubt about that. You gotta hold the co-hosts a little bit in control, otherwise they start making jokes about their betters. We can't accept that.
Listen, Arch, I'm not going to judge you for your Xeno fetish whatsoever. It's completely fine.
Alright, let me go to the Superchats then, too. A shorter one today because, 1, I have a lot of work to do, and 2, it's been kind of a slow week, honestly. The only things that have happened is, like, The Elder Scrolls Online is introducing a non-binary character, and I kinda don't care.
Yeah. Lumi, are you dead?
Oh, Lumi is...
No. I muted and then I forgot to unmute.
Oh, welcome back. No, the chat
No,
was saying...
Oh, no. I was laughing and then I went to talk, I look at my microphone. I'm like, oh shit, I'm muted. Oh well. I know that picture's funny as shit. Fuck you, Arch. Stop spreading lies about me. Um, and also Arch is still fucking brain dead from Dustborn, and then Rings of Power right after that. So yeah, that
Oh,
would
man.
lobotomize anybody.
Ooh, actually, there was one mildly funny thing. So, you know how Concord is still getting its little anime thingy, even after it's
really?
been cancelled? Yeah, it's still getting it. It's also the Acolyte. The Acolyte is still getting its prequel book released.
Oh. But why?
Presumably because Disney already wrote it, and they're like, well, shit, might as well push it out the door, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know, it'll sell a couple of copies here and there, and it'll pay back some of the losses from the book production. Or not. And maybe, yeah, okay, maybe, chat, if you all go out and buy this book, we can still get a season 2 of The Acolyte. We can but hope, chat. We can but hope.
Do we even want it, though?
Oh, absolutely. Of course we want it, Dev. What right do you have, Dev, to stand in between Disney and another $180 million in losses? Dev has no such right. That's right, Dev. Jeff Ra Medenka, hail Arch. Remember, Dev is not a communist because he believes. He's a commie because the commie leaders let him eat everyone else's food to punish them. Dev causes the Holodomor because of this. That's true. Dev is the leading cause of starvation. And Brandon, for another $100, thank you very much. Very generous chat today. I just got a lever action 4570. 4570, I said that correctly. And MagFed 12 gauge. Have some money before I come to my senses. Also, I like Dev. He's got some bad takes, like voting for Biden over Trump, but I don't think he's coming from a bad place. I don't know.
Well,
I think
you.
he's coming from a pretty bad place. Yugoslavia. Nightmare. Question. What's Dev's favorite game? A. Peggle.
What? No. I've said for a long time it was Earthbound, but that's much more of a nostalgia. I think my favorite game of it's probably Chrono Trigger. That is like objectively one of the best games of all time, I think. Chrono Trigger's great.
Boog, Shinji Mikami is better than Suda51. Don't at me, you will be Dev.
Well, to be fair, Shinji Mikami and Suda51 both worked on Shadows of the Damned, so it's fine.
And Mr. Schnitzel himself says, Dev, please check my DMs for clarification.
Okay. Hold on, let me take a look.
Dev never checks DMs, like, ever. Like, sometimes I try to communicate him with him, like, 3 days later, he's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can confirm that.
Okay, let's see here. He says that my analysis is completely wrong about No More Heroes 3. The whole story of No More Heroes 3 is fuck John Riccitiello. Okay? Suda hates him because he's the reason Shadows of the Damned ended up as it is. Right, the t-shirt said fuck racism, not BLM, but yeah. But apparently the fuck racism t-shirt is an homage to the person who composed the soundtrack. The lead composer for No More Heroes 3 has no idea what the statement means. Okay. I think it's one of those "this sounds cool" phrases that Japanese people will sometimes put on their clothing in English. Japanese do all the time. Okay, I get it.
I remember seeing a shirt once like that. It said, like, fuck me in the ass.
And it was like a Japanese. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I think okay. It was So Suda. Oh my God, Schnitzel here is basically saying that Suda, he didn't go woke. It's just that he got a big ego and he had too much money, and he obviously just wasted it on like frivolous artistic nonsense in the game. That's his view of it.
Oh, Jesus.
It still does not make for a good game, though. But yeah.
Cuban 922. If they don't ruin Shadows of the Damned remaster art, play it. It's a pseudo game you will like the most for sure. Also, re-educate the fish or fillet it.
No,
Oh.
actually filleted Lumi art would be cool though.
Oh, you're into that? Okay.
I like Guro. I like gore. It's very nice. Very cool.
That's right. I keep forgetting that.
I'll just get that new artist that keeps drawing you as a seahorse to make more feet pictures of you instead.
Listen, hold on. Would you be into the foot if it was like a Guro foot, like it was all opened up?
No, feet are gross.
Okay, so the rejection of feet overrides the love of Guro?
Yes.
Just wanted to see.
Dragon Master Outcast. The answer is earthworms. See, I was close. I said the worms inside of Lumi. You're a Mexican, Lumi. I've seen what you eat. There's definitely creatures living inside of you. I guarantee it. Adoman, how much enshadowment does Lumi have towards Kami? I'd say a solid 75% at this point. She's stopped resisting. It's not good. Lucian. 1984 is a manual for left-wing lingo. Yeah, kind of, yeah. The beautiful scene where it was like, I can levitate off the floor right now, but I choose not to. Lord Commissar Spartan. This is why you should go back. Indie devs like Guard Bros, Veil Riders, and Notepad Anon's upcoming Cruciform down with the Dragon game. I don't even know what any of these things mean. Alex Adamson. I remember Goblin Slayer having a beholder in it, so they'll have to sue the anime and manga industry. I'd like to see them try. Witcher. We shall know towards Witcher. A Nightmare. The corporations just buy off hiccups the regulators. And yes, in some cases they do. Cuban 92.
Not all the time, though, but...
Arch, we all love child labor as long as the kids are from another continent and make our entertainment and technology affordable. That is true. Out of sight, out of mind. Ozymandias. Arch, I really liked the Shadow of Forbidden God stream. Have you thought about giving it the Dominions 5 treatment? Like making a story thing around it? Maybe. But you lazy little shit don't watch enough of that for it to make it worth the bother. Bad chat. Bad. Hisenti. If purchasing isn't ownership, then pirating isn't stealing. Correct. There's nothing immoral about piracy whatsoever. Looks at Dev, expects the pro-government incentive, huh? Dev?
What?
No corporations
Piracy?
you would like to defend?
Not really. Also, wait, you just asked for the pro-government position, not the pro-corporate position.
Same thing. The real Zartax. Don't believe your lying eyes, Dev. He would say that. Nightmare,
Okay,
Martha's
No,
Wynyard.
this is fucking bullshit. Listen, all right?
Yeah.
Your eyes don't see everything. That's the point. All right? You know, you're looking in one direction. There's a whole bunch of shit in like 18 out of 1,000 directions that you're not seeing. It's not about don't believe your lying eyes. It's about the fact that you are blind. All right? Fuck.
For Dev. If his eyes behold kitten, roasting slowly above fire.
Yeah.
Who are you to say that he did not see kitten?
I am, because I AI generated it.
Nightman, Martha's Vineyard yearns for the Haitians. Yes, just like that one load of refugees that arrived at Martha's Vineyard and was swiftly removed. Man, if only more of us could get the police attention that Martha's Vineyard did. I remember Dev made a video about that, very positive towards Martha's Vineyard.
No, I basically said that if DeSantis did not tell the migrants where they were being sent, then it would have been it would have met Florida's definition of kidnapping. And everyone didn't like that take, but it was fundamentally true in the end.
Hexy, this cat barbecue was in Idaho, not Ohio. Dev. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They're still grilling cats, though. Jordan Rogers, call me Haitian. The way I eat the PU. S-Y. I have no idea what that means. Hexy, only a Bosnian was barbecuing your dog. Dev.
Well, no, it's important to point out the distinction, though, because everyone's talking about, you know, the gang violence in Haiti right now and how the government's been overthrown, and there's a gang leader named fucking Barbecue who's trying to take over the fucking government, and like there's reports of cannibalism in Haiti, and now there's like migrant boats of people fleeing Haiti, like trying to make it to Florida. So in the context of all those other stories, now that we're talking about the possibility of Haitian immigrants that are eating people's pets, it's important to understand that, hey, in this case, it's not actually in a place where there are any Haitian immigrants. Hey, in this case, it's actually someone else. Like, these are important details to get right. You can't just hand wave it all and just be like, oh, well, it's someone's eating a cat. I'm just going to blame someone that you know, whatever right-wing Twitter account told me to blame. I'm just going to blame them. It's like, no, you got to be smarter than that. Like, come on, engage your brains.
I just want to point out, before anyone makes any leaps to conclusions here, that Bosnians are not white.
Oh yeah, they're Eastern Europeans, right?
No, well, yes, but they're definitely not whites. I just want to point that out.
Slavs aren't white, they don't count.
Oh, they're worse than Slavs. I'm pretty sure they're the Muslims. Death End, Arch, don't worry, Australia is fixing the access to information problem. They are, by making sure nobody gets access to information. And Zero Firewater, Dev, stop using your alt account to create a narrative. Also, Archley, the problem with the alcohol and the old people is the government. If you didn't have to get permission, they would have their wine. That is true. Hexy, Dev requires an official Biden-Kamala DOJ report. He would like that. He would like that.
On what?
On the kittens being eaten. Artemis Fowl's been a member for 4 months. Wow, he's been simping consistently for 4 months. Good boy, Artemis. Says Dev is defending the illegals from the country known for cannibals, from the accusations of eating cats and dogs, which is part of their culture. But why, Dev?
Yes, because of facts, Artemis. That's the point here. You have a bunch of associations. I have a bunch of facts. That's the difference between us.
But Dev has a far smaller percentage pool of facts than associations. Mark's on 117B. Arch, Dustborn poems. Where were Emily Dickinson? Well, I don't like Emily Dickinson then.
Wait, look, Arch, okay, in the chat right now, there's the Brent guy that I mentioned earlier in the stream. He just said, Dev, meme over truth. See, he's literally doing the thing that I said he would like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, but Dev, I also have a Photoshop of you saying that.
Dev is always right. You have to understand this.
Alex Adamson. Yes, Dev, our side needs to win because our side is correct. We get pissed off because you undermine our efforts. We need to win it. Witcher. Yeah, Dev.
Yes. I undermine your efforts when you're not correct, though. That's the point.
Why can't you do this to the left too, Dev?
I do. Arch, you watch my videos. You know that I do this to the left all the time.
Speak to my memory hole, Dev. Electric Angel, what if Ubisoft dies and Paradox buys Anno? Ooh. Well, I guess I'll need to buy Anno 1117 in, like, fucking 52 different parts then. Well, at least I'll get my Anno game. It's just that I'll need to pay for it 17 times over. It's not that bad. Gumidali. Arch, what do you use for stripping paint of miniatures? What's some stuff that's relatively easy to get access to in our dear nation? Lumi's feet smell will strip the paint right off just about anything.
Oh, fuck you.
See, I just paint them right the first time, so I have no idea about any of that. Might ashamed, Arch, you need to start a poll. Given a debate between Dev from the ArchCast and Ian from Timcast, who would be better? I don't know. Who's Ian?
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Though, we still need to organize the Dev v Artemis debate about the 2020 election at some point. Dev has been dodging that one. Bad Dev. Bad Dev. And Lord Commissar Spartan. Thank you for the no bad tactics, only bad targets argument, Dev. Dev.
So, oh man, I gotta do a video on this. Hold on. You know what? This is a longer conversation that I don't have time for because you gotta go soon, Arch. I gotta go soon. So we'll put a pin in it. But there is a video about that I do want to talk about. There's a video in there somewhere.
Somewhere. Naxalas, I am told that when Dev comes on ArchCast, Arch gets lots of super chats, so I'm doing my part. Also, how do you feel about Space Marine 2? Thank you, first and foremost. And secondly, it's a good game, but not worth full price, is my assessment. It's an 8-hour campaign with a somewhat lackluster co-op mode and like 3 PvP maps, and a roadmap. The winter sales is right around the corner. Sit on it for another 2 or 3 months. You're going to get it for 20% off. And you're going to get more content. Easy. And Artemis Fowl, you are welcome, Arch. Well, bitch. Harmonic Drive. FOE is like a casual playthrough of Fallout. By the end, you save the world and wondered how you got there. Try to enjoy the ride and skip the sex scenes. That's right, Dev, you were telling me about some Fallout mod upon some time that had a lot of feet scenes in it.
Yes, that is not Fallout New Vegas.
No.
Sorry, Fallout London. It's not Fallout London. It's a different Fallout. This one was made out of the Fallout 3 engine. And yeah, there's a lot of weird feet shit in it.
Well, illuminate, because Lum Lum likes this topic.
No!
Want me to find it again? Give me a second.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Lum Lum requests links.
You are requesting links by using my name. You're the one with the feet horde, not me.
We'll see if chat takes it like that. The real Zartak says, I'm Team Red, says Dev. Yeah, he did do that. That was a foolish misspeak of him. I don't know why he did that.
I got it. It's in live links. This is from the mod Fallout the Frontier. Here, wait, Lumi, real quick, just read that caption there.
I feel like I'm getting...
Literally fine.
I don't want to read it out loud. It'll get clipped only as an audio, and then people will question me.
No, Lum Lum. Read the audio, and we'll make treats for Lum Lum.
Treats for you or treats for me? God damn it. Fuck. Fine. You bully. I'm dreading taking off my boots tonight after all the running around we've been doing. Whew, my feet will probably put rotting fish to shame. I hate it here.
And there you go, chat. You know what to do.
So you can also have sex with a Deathclaw in this mod.
Oh. Well, rather that than the feet, I guess. And good on Lum Lum. Lum Lum did well. Lum Lum will regret this later, but...
Magnus, no!
Big and stinky, you've got them all. Actually,
and
wait,
Devin
hold
Hills deeply.
on. Lumi, did you actually watch my video on Trigger Conroy?
Part of it, I was working, and then I felt my tummy hurt because it was all icky. So then I put on something else.
Yep, you got to go back and finish up the foot fetish stuff.
You don't want to.
The Real Halcinator says, Dev, thinking about Team Red. Think about it. He does. He's a bit of a communist. Lives in Dev's new wall specifically. You guys are clearly incorrect. Dev loves food too much to be a communist. Ooh, good argument, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the Real
I'm going to
Zartax.
read this one. I'm going to read this one just because I'm probably going to be gone before you get to it. Because Alex replied to a thing that I said earlier. So Alex, for £5, it doesn't matter when we're incorrect, Dev. It matters that the good side defeats the bad side. Get with the goddamn program. Also, he says Witcher for, I guess that goes towards Witcher. Well, here's the thing. Listen, when you're incorrect, you are the bad side. All right, that's the important thing to understand here, is that your side is not always good. In fact, your side should simply be being correct. All right. When the right wing is incorrect, it is bad to be right wing in that instance. And that is the program you need to get with.
But Dev, not all untruth is bad. See,
I disagree.
No. See, I can give you a perfect example. The Lum Lum Likes Feet narrative may not be theoretically correct, but it is clearly a good narrative. The majority of people enjoy the Lum Lum Likes Feet narrative. Therefore, it is a positive influence upon the world, Dev. And the only one who suffers is Lum Lum. Clearly, this is a good thing.
Oh, I see.
I gotta find a believable thing to start telling about you.
Well, no, we just gotta stick to the Xenos thing. It'll work out. Arch wanting to have sex
fair.
with like inhuman aliens, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, especially with how many space games he plays.
The Real Zartax, communists aren't human beings, Arch. This too is largely true. And Brendan Lucas for £20. Dev, if you are doing a deep dive on Dustborn, look into Ragnar Turnquist's previous game and how he wrote Women, how they went from accessible and warm in games like Longest Journey to cold and aloof in Dustborn. Actually, Dev, do you want a video on like how Dustborn got funding, like how it got government funding?
I would like that, yes.
Okay, because a fellow Norwegian of mine has actually done like a video on that, and he has connections within the Norwegian video game industry, so he's actually got like the people basically admitting it. I'll send it to you. Here you go. From
All right, thank you.
Midnight's Edge, which, by the way, is a very nice lad. I'll need to bring him on the channel sometime, because I go on his all the time. But basically, the Norwegian games media apparatus and the entertainment sector and gaming, very progressive. Very, very progressive. And
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
the way to get money out of the Norwegian government is to come to them with a progressive IP. And basically say the right thing that they want to hear, and voila, you're probably going to get money for your project. Maranga 2. I've recommended this here twice before, but I'll do it again. Lum Lum, if you want old school animations, look up Wolf Walkers for you, Mini Lum Lum.
Oh
That's
yeah, I've
right.
seen Wolf Walkers. Isn't
Yeah.
that like an Apple TV exclusive? I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
little girl is barefoot. It's right
Oh
up
my
your
fucking
alley.
God. No!
Oh, so wait, Lumi's into lolly feet then.
Ooh, boy.
No!
It's good. Yeah, no, here, chat. Look, barefoot child. And Lumi's like, wow, that was a really great movie.
No!
Oh, yeah, it's got a wolf pack, too. So not only is there barefoot child, there are barefoot wolves as well. Ooh, poor fetishism. That's advanced foot fetishism. God damn it. Little Lumi
I hate
sitting
you
there,
both.
looking at the little toe beans like, there shows where she sees her to herself.
I hate you both.
But yeah, Maranga 2, that's a wonderful suggestions. Sanguine, oh no, the foot fetishes is back. Can she even go even one stream without bringing up her interests? We get it, you like feet. Respect chat's boundaries. Yeah, Lum Lum.
You don't even mention it. I'm slowly fucking losing my mind.
One day, chat. One day Lum Lum will be able to control herself. It's just not this day. Boog, Johnny looks a lot like Arch there. Oh, it was Boog who started it. And then Buckymus followed it up. ShadowFox2300, where there is a hole, there will always be a goal, Arch.
Listen, Arch, you have to understand. Boog is Mexican, all right? What that means is, when it comes to the border between being pro and anti-Arch, he hops that constantly.
He does do that. And Buckymus, that looks like Arch. Buckymus. Simpimus Buck. Nightmare, be right back, firing up stable diffusion for Arch X Alien.
Good.
Wolfsbane, Red Sonja can only men that can defeat her in battle can lay with her. I think Conan has either beaten her or didn't do her or fought her to a stalemate. I think it's the stalemate, because I'm pretty sure he's never actually banged Red Sonja, no matter how often and how hard he has indeed tried. Sean King, who would win in a fight? A galaxy invested with Skaven or one with Tyranids hive fleets, with and without plot armor? Probably the Tyranids would just go critical mass because they'd eat everything the Skaven would build eventually. Yeah, I'd probably give it to the Tyranids. Wolfsbane, I typo the shit out of that last super chat. Indeed. And on his foul, it's like looking in the mirror for you, Arch. You lover of tentacled Xenos. Oh.
It's becoming the narrative. This is what it is now.
Again, chat. Every time you manage to subscribe bomb Bucky with one of those gifted narratives to increase his time here, I will double your next donation. Keep Buckymus as a simp.
Okay, I've got to go, though, Arch. It's time for Dev to vanish.
You can't possibly vanish, Dev. You are too large.
I'll see you guys next week, okay?
Bye, Dev.
Bye.
Zedekai, the mountain ape loves the hallucinogenic sparser. And the last Ubisoft game I liked was Rayman's Origins. Whimsical art, lovely music, and sexy fairies. What's not to love? Fat's girl in video games need to look more like Edith Up. Edith Up. Lum, Edith.
Hold on.
Wait, is that from that disgusting Vor game chat show? No, it isn't. It kind of is. There seems to be some Vor in that. I don't like it.
Edith Up is from Rayman Origins.
The real Zartax. So if the company totally tanks and they have to take down the Ubi shop, do you think it will trigger some fun times around digital ownership laws as people lose access to their libraries of Ubisoft games? I don't think it'll go that far yet. Because first, the company's probably going to be brought private. And once the company's private, it'll have a lot more room to lose money, basically. So we're not there quite yet, but yes, if they start taking down the Ubisoft shop so people no longer get access to the Ubisoft games, that is probably going to be interesting.
I posted Edith and Liveling.
And that does look like the art style from that weird war game that I don't want chat to pay too much attention to.
Weird war game?
Yeah, the war game.
Oh, Vor game. I thought you said war game.
War. The V and the W are difficult concepts for most civilized people, it is true. There we go. Alright, after Lumi's paw fetish was revealed.
Oh my god.
There we go. Paws. Just the thing Lumi loves the most in the world. Artemis Fowl. If Arch feels the need for revenge, then he is admitting he was slighted enough to warrant revenge in the first place. Arch is admitting he looks like Johnny Storm by his need for revenge. You know, being accused of looking like Johnny Storm isn't the worst thing in the world. It's the whole screwing a sausage alien thing that I don't really approve of. And Wargame 341. If the fish gets out of line, just throw a sponge into a fishbowl. Oh, that would be mean. Benish and Snortkins. Favorite game of the last 5 years? Well, for me, it's... When did House of Iron? 2016. No, that's too far. Terra Invicta would be it for me. What about you, Lum Lum?
For what?
Favorite game the last 5 years?
Favorite game in the last 5 years? God, I don't know. I would probably I'll have a basic fucking answer. I honestly really like Lies of P. It's been very good.
I see. The feet game market has been slim pickings, I understand.
No! Have you played Lies of P?
No.
You should play it. It's very
No.
good. Why?
No.
Why?
Looks kinda
You
gay.
play as Pinocchio.
No.
Have you seen anything about the game?
Yeah, looks kinda gay. I don't like the main character.
Oh my god.
Tenacious B. Arch, I'm getting my girlfriend to watch your live stream with me lately. But she's trying to wrap her head around Dev's diaper fetish. Is it a... A? Yes, it is. And hello, V.
How is V doing today?
I saw Arch in the latest comic book of the Fantastic Four, and I wanted to ask if Arch saw it as well.
Yes, we were actually just talking about it. We figured out why Arch has been asking for so much money for The Witcher. It was because he wanted to be in the new Fantastic Four comic, so.
That was a very touching romantic story, Arch. I gotta say, I sometimes watch anime, but like none of it compares to the romance that you had with that alien lady.
And V is out to make himself enemies today, too. Your significant fetishism, both of you. You just think about these weird things all the time. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird.
Hey, we're not the one that got our self-insert publicized in a official comic book.
Yeah, Arch, how many strings did you have to pull for that to happen?
Kind of weird. Kind of weird. So to fight water, Johnny STD, because that's what he'll get after sleeping with a weird penis alien. And $4 towards the Nightmare Moon playthrough. Also, Dev, I can't wait to watch you deep throat that boot in your Pro Trudeau video. Ooh. To be fair, you probably would generate a fair bit few STDs if you fuck aliens. Like, their biology is probably not compatible with ours.
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I think like the microbes may be that different that they wouldn't even affect your body.
Who knows? Or your immune system would probably attack it, and then you'd die because you'd keep attacking it and not get anywhere.
You know, by the way, I wanted to thank you for recommending a game to me. I rarely play games anymore, but like this one was really good. You play as a dark god, and you gotta be subtle about it.
Oh yes, Shadows of the Forbidden Gods. It's a good game.
Yeah. Does it become boring after a while, or is it actually fun?
Depends. Like, because you're doing mostly the same thing for quite a while. It depends on if you can like immerse yourself in the story, because you can get some really cool stories out of it where you're fighting against the good guys in a very subtle way. But most of the time you're doing kind of the same thing, so I don't know.
Because that's what I thought. Like in the beginning, it's really cool. I mean, I'm immersed into it, but I'm afraid that you're doing just so many repetitive things that it just becomes boring.
Possibly. I haven't gotten bored yet, but I've only played it for like 40 hours, so.
Yeah, Dominion seems a lot more fun though.
Dominions is pretty cool. Dominions is a great game. Because in that game, if you get bored of it, okay, pick one of the other 300 factions. Artemis Fowl. Dev's weight has been the cause for the loss of 3 chairs, a desk, and a car. What will be the next thing to break under Dev's corporeal form?
A car. When
Yep.
did that happen?
Oh, he destroyed the underside of his car, presumably by deforming the metal with his ass, I guess.
What is Dev's take on the Haitian cat eating scenario?
It didn't happen, believe the government.
So basically, why do people watch Dev when you can just tune it on CNN?
Because Dev isn't on CNN yet. Now look, my Dreadbed
apparently
also
it
likes
did
the Dominions
happen.
game. That's good. Dominions is a good game.
Apparently, it did happen. Like last year, there were cats being barbecued in Ohio. Let's see if I can find it.
There's indications that at the very least some pets or ducks and stuff has gone missing.
Yeah, like if there's people on the ground saying that it's happening, and they're filing police reports, and then like the people in charge that could be held responsible and can lose public image, they're saying, "Oh, no, it's not happening." Well, hold on a little bit. Like you can't prove a negative that it's not happening, but there is enough smoke there to the point where it could be a fire. Like you can't say it's not happening. Like you can't prove a negative, basically.
We said Dev 3 times. He was summoned like Beetlejuice.
Oh, actually, here's the thing. I came back because I have like another 45 minutes. I got the.
Are the cats being eaten or not?
What's going on though?
Are the
What
cats being eaten in Ohio?
Probably not.
Okay, but you said probably. Like people told me, you said no, which is like no. You
No,
can't
probably
prove a
not.
negative. Like
No,
it could be.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
It
but
is
probably not.
possible, yeah. But there are people on the ground that are saying pets are missing and shit.
Yeah, sure. People can say anything though.
Why would they say that? Like, what? See, like, this is what I don't get. It's like, what would take for a person to come out in front of a camera along 100 other people and say, yeah, I mean, the cat is missing? Like, why would they do that?
Well, I haven't seen people say it in front of a camera yet, but I mean, the obvious answer is their 15 minutes of fame. As to why they said it on Facebook or whatever, the obvious answer is just fucking around. Happens all the time. It's the internet, man.
You can get your 15 minutes of fame by saying, no, those evil racist bastards, those evil Trump supporters spreading those malignant fake news. You know, like they could say that and they could get even more minutes of fame.
Well, people do that too, yeah.
Yeah.
They do both.
Yeah, but like, why would they do the other one? Like, why would they?
Well, for the same reason. I mean, it's the same thing. Like sometimes people are just fucking around. Sometimes people just want to be part of something or feel important. Happens all the time. There's like a bunch of random dumb reasons people lie to the press or the media or to the public about something happening when it didn't actually happen. It's pretty common.
Like, what exactly would it take for you to be like, you know what, fuck it, it did happen? Like, what would you need? Do you need like the satellite imagery of the person cooking the cat, or is a police report enough?
Well,
like,
a police
is the
report's
number
good,
of people, like,
but
if
also
1,000 people came up and they said that, yeah, like our pets are missing, like,
so
what is the level of proof here?
all those things, basically, yeah, all those things. So like a police report's fine. Many people saying it, and not just people reposting a previous story, but people who are on the ground saying it. That's also fine. And also like hard video evidence. I looked over some of those videos. Like Arch, I showed you 2 videos today. One of them was clearly a dog being roasted by a Bosnian family, so that's true. The other one didn't look like cats. So yeah.
But,
Share with us the
if someone,
Romanian
like,
perspective
eats the
on
cat
Bosnians.
in the interior, like if someone adopts the cat and eats it in their home, like normal people should, how are you going to get the video evidence of it?
Well, yeah, you can't, but that doesn't really prove anything though. Like here, you are describing situations in which evidence could not exist even if the thing actually happened. And fair enough, that's true, but that's not enough to assume that it happened when there's no evidence.
No, but it's like a sufficient number of people are coming up and they're saying, "Look, our pets are missing." Then
Well, there isn't a sufficient number though, V. Like, this is something that I've looked into, and there are a bunch of people saying, "Yeah, I haven't seen any pets go missing. I know there's claims of that, but I haven't seen it." What I have seen are people going down to the park and like killing the ducks and the geese at the park. I've seen that, and so there's lots of people who are in Springfield, Ohio, who are now posting online saying, "Haven't seen the pet thing. I have seen the ducks and geese thing." So it's probably the case that pets aren't really being killed and eaten, but the ducks and geese are.
Naruhodo.
I don't know. Again, I'm sure we'll see stuff after the election done.
I think what ends up happening is like one person's claim, which is unsubstantiated, goes viral, and it gets reposted by like 18 different like Twitter accounts, and then you see like different permutations of the same claim get passed around, and so it makes you think, oh man, there's tons of claims. Like look at all these people saying it. It's actually just one. It's just one claim.
Evidence do you have that this is the case?
What evidence do I have that this is the case?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all the people who have said cats and dogs are being eaten in Springfield, Ohio, and they link to something, you follow those links back. If you follow all of those links back, it goes back to one Facebook post.
I'm not sure that's the case. I have seen like many different posts. Let me see if I can find it. And I've seen also different police reports by different people.
Okay, I'd like to see them.
Yeah, I posted them on my Twitter timeline. I'm scrolling down to find out where they are. Might take a while though, so you guys can
That's
talk
fine.
about something else until I find them, because there's a lot of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this story right now.
In the meantime, Jackie boy. I just checked out Ryan Macbeth's video on the cat eating in Ohio. Short answer is no. No pets are being eaten. Complete misinformation. A Devian disciple, clearly.
Here, just real quick, Arch. So I'm sure you've seen this picture, right, Arch? This here?
Mm-hmm.
Of like a Haitian migrant, like walking home with like some kind of large bird. Probably got it from a park, like a city park somewhere. This isn't in Springfield, Ohio. It's from like another town. It's like from one town over, but still, like same basic area, same basic thing happening. You know, this is good enough proof. This is at least one person doing it, right? Let's see here. I'm gonna keep going.
Tenacious B, humiliation factor that arouses him. I feel like I've missed something here. Or is it more of a theme kink, where he complements the diaper with the bonnet, bib, and pacifier? Serious question. Oh yes. Dev,
What's going on?
is the diaper fetish just his own thing, or is it like ancillary to something else?
That's also one of those false narratives people are making up for fun.
If you have a diaper fetish and you get old and you have to wear a diaper, would that turn you on?
What do you
Whoever does
just-
that's probably having the time of their lives, to be honest.
I was about to say, would that just be eternal horny for like the rest of their living days?
Yeah, or is it like how is it like to have a diaper fetish? Like, is it turning you on to have the diaper, or do you need to see someone else having the diaper?
Everyone looks at Dev.
Are you asking me? I don't have one. I don't fucking know.
I didn't ask you, but like since you responded, I just asked, like in general.
No
I
idea.
was
I couldn't
just
fill
waiting
you
for
in on
Jeff
this one.
to answer.
By
Because
the
he
way,
has to
Arch, I
answer
have
it.
something for you. They call this the Concord effect. I'm not sure you covered it or not, but as you can see, a lot of gaming companies are, for some mysterious reason, redesigning their characters now.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Oh, is it happening? Fucking
Yeah.
finally? Show it to me. I want to see. I'm
I
kinda
didn't
curious.
post it in the talk here, not in the link channel, you damn weirdos. That is an
Yeah.
actual channel on Arch's little server.
The Stormgate, because the previous woman was very weird.
He was hag
Or-
maxing. I think this is the correct term for what Western companies are doing. They're hag maxing.
Kevin T has also been doing redesigns.
Listen, the hags and the hag maxing meme are still attractive, though.
I don't know what the hag maxing memes are, but like I do know that my wife was watching Wheel of Time, and she's asking like, why are all these 45 plus ladies hanging around with these 20-year-old husbandos? Like, in what world does this
Okay.
make any sense?
So I mean, you know that like a hag is an old ugly woman, yeah. So in anime, what happens is you have like a woman who is, let's say, 35 and like older but still attractive, and there's like obviously going to be a cast of characters of women who are like 15 or 17 or 19 or something, and the 35-year-old woman is like, you can't be interested in me, young man. I'm just an old lady. I'm an old hag, right? And there's become this like sub fetish of anime porn where like the dude in a harem does not want any of the girls. He wants like the old lady tutorial character instead.
What
And
fucking
so
ass is watching? I've never seen anything like that, and I
yeah,
thought that
so
I'm pretty degenerate myself, but like,
so that is hag maxing, is basically
I
going
see.
after the older lady who's still pretty cute.
Oh no, like I was thinking that hag maxing is when Western video game developers are making their female characters as far away as anything remotely attractive for the straight cisgender gays. So like they make them at least 40 years old. I mean, look at the Borderlands movie, right? Like when I saw it the first time, I was like, wow, this is the weird. And then when I looked at the actresses, all of the actresses in this action movie, except for like one or two, were over the age of 45. And it's like, it's an action movie. They have to move around and explosives and shit. Like, why are you casting people that are over the age of 45?
It's not just that. It's in the Borderlands lore, those characters are all in their early 20s.
Yeah, it makes
It's
no
like,
fucking sense.
you guys completely fucked that up, that movie.
Yeah, apparently it lost money. They just announced that it wasn't a blockbuster.
It didn't do very well.
No, it didn't.
It did better than Concord, though.
Yeah. Here, V, I'll post this in live links. Okay? That is the hag maxing meme. There you go. Gen Z's trend of dating older women who are still, like, hot.
I have seen a video, well, actually, several videos on TikTok showing that Gen Zs are a lot older than they appear. Like, people would look at a Gen Z and they would be like, you're 25. And they were like, what? No, I'm 20.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Yeah, I think Asmongold covered it. Like there's this TikTok video and they're looking very old, like individuals that look in their late 30s, and they're like, no, I'm 18, I'm 20. And I think like maybe one of the reasons is the cosmetics. Like if you keep using cosmetics a lot, it makes your skin look as if it's old when you're not using the cosmetics.
Yeah, people are saying it's that. Some people are thinking it's the amount of preservatives we ate in our food when we were younger, which is why we're still looking younger.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. I mean, again, I seen the viral TikTok videos, and indeed, like those people look like they're late 30s, 39, 40, and then you find out that they're close to 20, and you're like, what the fuck?
Hold on a second. Arch, here. Now it's time for you to read off a caption. Read off this caption.
No.
Oh, come on. Do it.
That's not even as bad as Lumi's. Come on.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
It's time, Arch.
No, you don't have any power over
Yeah,
me.
bully him.
Arch.
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 Arch. Arch.
When are we
Good.
making a new DnD and have people playing it?
When I have time, which is never.
But you'd be making money off of it. Like people would watch that shit.
The scent of a fertile old woman fresh from the bath. Enticing indeed. Noises. I don't know if that's really that enticing, honestly. I think this is more of a dev thing than an Arch thing.
Nope.
Nope.
Maybe it has feet
Listen.
for Lum Lum to smell and lick.
Shut the fuck up.
My girlfriend's 10 years younger than me, man. This is not a dev thing.
Dev,
I don't know, Dev. Some
You're
people
gay.
on Twitter would find that highly problematic.
Yeah, probably.
Man, the age gap and the height of consent being below what it should be.
I
Shame
also
that.
But-
seen the skin color of consent, the pose of consent. Um, what else? Besides height, the chest size of consent.
Yeah, all
Ah,
that shit's stupid. I've seen a bunch of it.
I'm just waiting for the voice of consent next.
Oh, like the
Oh,
the
they
voice is
already
too
go
high
after
pitched.
VTubers that have
Yeah.
like a squeaky voice. Yeah.
Did you end up finding that stuff, V?
Yeah, I did post the one that I did find.
Oh,
It's in the talk here, not in the blah blah blah.
Consus
Above the
Is it?
Stormgate thing.
says, have you played Deadly
Stormgate.
Premonition?
You
No
should.
one has
It's really
played
good.
Deadly Premonition.
You should. Don't get the PC version though. It's garbage.
Adoman, have you seen the reactions to the new Hobbit game? Yes, many black hobbits is in it. Many
Is
people
there-
don't like it.
Is there a new Hobbit game?
There is.
Have you seen the video that YouTube recommended to me for some reason called "The Pussification of Video Games"?
No.
It is actually going viral, so it's got, I think last time I checked, like 500 million views. But there's basically this guy which is taking like video games from before 2016 and reading what's on the box and comparing them to video games that are coming out now. And the video games that are coming out now are all about feelings, connecting and petting pets and that type of shit, right? And the video games that were before 2016 are like mystery, men in the shadows, danger, the world, can you save it? You know, they're very masculine oriented. And another thing is stoicism as a philosophy. Modern developers are treating it like it's radioactive. And one of the reasons that the latest Space Marine game, what's it called, the sequel, right, Space Marine 2, the reason a lot of people like it is because it has a lot of stoicism in it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
heard.
some
Even though it's a short
stoicism.
game, I've heard good things about it.
Some stoicism,
like-
some diversity.
Yeah, so like regarding the pussification of games, it's like you got Lord of the Rings, right? And the orcs are coming, and then you need to fight the orcs and the Nazguls. And what game do they make? Oh, you get to play as hobbits, just running around and having fun, and it's like they have families, and isn't it great? Isn't it amazing? And look, the cute art style, isn't it adorable? Oh my god!
Oh, this is like the city builder in Hobbiton game. I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Like nothing wrong with it, but like, why does it have to be Lord of the Rings? Why can't you make your own IP? Why aren't you confident that you can create something that can stand up on its own? You know?
Because it's just a gay little Sims thing.
Yeah. I think it's because people just like the aesthetic of Hobbiton from the movies. You know, those houses where it's like circular doors and stuff. People just want to play in there. It's like I get it.
But like you can make that. It's not copyrighted. Like you can make your own game, and you can genuinely just make Hobbit Town. Like it doesn't have to be Lord of the Rings. You don't have to have hobbits. They're trying to do a bait and switch. It's like, hey, you like Lord of the Rings? You're going to like this shit. And the reality is that most people don't.
Let me see. Hold on. Well, does the game like? Well, hold on. I mean, the game isn't the game called Tales of the Shire? Like that's
Yes.
yeah. That's it's not like it's a bait and switch. Like you know what you're getting into. It's not Lord of the Rings. Bring
No,
the
it's
ring
like
to
we're-
Mount
well,
Doom. It's
yeah,
it's
you
Tales
are.
of the
But
Shire.
like they're using the brand of the Lord of the Rings, right? Now, if you are to make a game where you play as Saruman and you have to just chop down the forest in order to build the fires of the industry, and you have to chop it down carefully because otherwise you piss off the Ents and they're coming, like that would be a more Lord of the Ringsy game, and you can still have like a city builder, and that would be more authentic.
Sure. This doesn't bother me though.
It
It
is.
doesn't-
It's
it
not
doesn't- it
bothering
doesn't
me
seem to
either,
be-
but it's not going to sell. Like I guarantee to you, this game will flop.
It doesn't
Because there's
seem
a lot
to.
of people like me that are absolutely disgusted, Dev. Like we have reached the level of apathy and disgust to the point where we can stay ignorant more than they can stay solvent.
I mean, maybe, but this doesn't seem like the kind of game that offends the sensibilities. It's
Oh,
not a
it
big
definitely
deal.
offends 100%. Like the fact that this game exists it disgusts me. I wish I was like a leftist and was able to like cancel it. It's just because it's offensive. But unfortunately, I don't have the pull, so I can just whine and bitch about it in my little corner. But it is definitely offensive because they're taking Lord of the Rings and they're destroying what Lord of the Rings stands for, and they expect me to give them cash. That's what disgusts me. Like the very fact that they put this on my monitor in my bedroom and they have the audacity to ask me to pay the money. That's fucking disgusting, them. I don't know how you can live with that, but like I can't.
I'm looking at the game right now. I mean, I can post it here, Arch, if you want to just look at the trailer or something. It's on Steam. But I'm looking at the game. Wait, that's wrong. That was the wrong.
It's
channel.
an LGBT game, though.
I'm looking at the game right now, and it just looks like a basic kind of Sims game, and the art style is consistent with other Lord of the Rings things. I mean, it's just, not a big deal. I don't think this is ruining Lord of the Rings. It's just because well, hold on.
It's
because
definitely an LGBT game.
It is an LGBT game.
Hold on. Part of the Lord of the Rings mythos is the fact that the Shire and Hobbiton is kind of this cozy place. And if they wanted to do a game or a story focused on that specific part of it, that's fine. It's not breaking
let me
lore.
put it this way, all right? We're in Iran, right? And all of a sudden, I become a gay man. Like for some reason, I have like this raging desire for another man's penis, but I'm in Iran. So like that thing is dangerous. I need to keep it on the down low. Do you know how I find other gay people in Iran?
Yeah.
I ask them if they like this game. And if the answer is yes, then I know that person is safe for me to have homosexual relationships with them.
That's fine. I don't really care about any of that.
No,
Do you like this game, Dev?
it does
I don't
have
know.
a lot of bare feet.
Shut up,
I
Arch.
think-
I think that I
That's
can
just
prove that
hobbits.
Dev is bisexual because he's not disgusted by this game. So he's neutral to it, which makes him bisexual. If you like this game,
Chat.
then I could go with Dev in a gay bar and it would be fine. But like he doesn't like it, he doesn't hate it, so he's in between. Therefore, he's bisexual. See, like my theory is 100%.
I've said that all the time, though. That's not a. I am bisexual, yes.
Yeah, well, but there you go. Like I'm definitely like making a point. I'm not trying to attack you or anything. I'm generally saying that yes, like if you like, this is the game where you can test a person's sexuality. If they like it, they're gay. If they're indifferent, they're bisexual, and if they hate it, they're straight.
Chat.
Yeah, maybe, but it doesn't really offend my sensibilities. You know, this game's fine.
Do you like this game?
Convince
This
Lumi
is not
to play
this
this
is not
game.
ruining. This is not ruining Lord of the Rings or anything. It's fine.
It is.
It's just like another
It's an
straw on the
LGBT
fucking
game.
camel's
It's
back.
a dumb little game. And that is why, again, chat, convince Lumi to play this game.
No,
And I'll commission
Listen.
the thumbneil for it. And it'll have
Hold
a
on.
heavy focus on feet.
no.
Do it now, chat.
If you want a bad Lord of the Rings game, go play Gollum. Like there's plenty
It's
to
not
complain
about
about
good or
in that
bad
game.
Lord of the Rings games now. This is
Yeah,
the fact
what?
that America cannot produce quality entertainment. Like on one hand, you have Nikkei, and Nikkei has like fat ass and a nice story and big fat tits. And what do America make? Little goblins running around, and it's like, oh, it's like Lord of the Rings, you guys. America has lost the plot. It's like it's now up to China, it's up to Japan, and it's up to fucking Korea to pick up the slack. Do you know what pisses me off, Dev? I'll tell you what pisses me off. I
Go-
watch
tell
a
me about
ball
it.
game. And in the ball game, I see Gargura fucking singing. Why isn't Disney having like some Looney Tunes there singing? Why isn't it an American celebrity singing? Because they have none. They only have communists and supporters and sympathizers like you. So that's why you get Gargura.
Hold
That's
on.
why
You,
need
you
someone
just
that
said I was
actually-
neutral. You just said I was neutral, V.
Oh, yeah, you're a sympathizer. You're not a commie.
Neutral does not mean sympathizer. It means neutral.
No. It's black and white, Dev. It's black and white. This is with them and against them. There's no.
Nah. Okay. Go on.
Apparently, Japan is failing. Chat is disappointing me yet again.
Japan is failing. Ironically, Japan's brain drain will mean it'll be outcompeted by China soon enough. Now,
Wait, Lumi doesn't want to play the LGBT Lord of the Rings game?
She will.
No,
she
I do
will.
not. No, no.
Why not, Lumi?
Chat
want
will
to.
pressure her into it.
And
Lumi,
plus,
this is literally
Oh.
a girl's game. Like this
no,
is what.
farming sims are fucking boring as hell. That's why I never played fucking what was that?
Stardew?
What's that game called? Yeah, never played Stardew. It's boring.
Yeah, I
Like,
enjoyed
look,
Stardew.
you know,
but I mean, I
you
kinda
know when
played
I
it out,
said
you know?
that if you're a guy and you like that game, you're gay. if you're a woman and you don't like that game, then you're gay. Because like it's the reverse for women.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Like, chat.
Yeah.
Lumi, I think
fast-paced
Lumi was
games.
like $200 for her Smite edition. She'll do this. Yeah, it's just cheap. You can do it. You can definitely do this, chat. You can do it.
If people want me to play this game, no, I'm gonna take your advice. $800. $800.
What if someone mods the game and you have white characters in it? Would you play it then?
Modders will be on that day fucking one. You know that.
I don't know. I
you're
think
saying.
they will be banned by Nexus mods. Like they don't tolerate any of the race swapping unless it's done the opposite way.
There are third-party mod sites. Not all of it has to be hosted on Nexus.
Fucking Nexus, dude.
Alex Adamson, Arch, check out Despot of Antrim. Man does great analysis of woke media, potentially pays co-host. He's got good humor and he knows his stuff. Witcher. All noted down. Brendan Lucas, not sure if missed Super Chat. Maybe. I don't think so. Am I? Probably not. Maybe. The deals are tax. To be fair, I'm sure Dev has eaten his share of pets. Probably has.
Not pets, but I have tried dog and cat before.
There you go. So he has eaten pets.
They were
Benjamin
pets,
Snortkins. Lum Lum. Favored Guru H manga.
God damn, I gotta go through my fucking list. I'll get back to you on that.
Nightmare. If the state says Dev is gay, will Dev admit it? Yes.
Apparently
do,
already
do you
did.
think that this is like some voodoo ritual to summon Papa Legba?
Who's that?
You don't know who Papa Legba is?
Nope.
He is the Loa of the Crossroads. In order to summon other Loas, you need to make an offering to Papa Legba. And maybe it's an offering of cats or of geese.
Maybe.
Yeah. And if you please Papa Legba, he will allow you to communicate with the other Loas.
What is even wrong
How can
with
you be
you?
a person that supports multiculturalism and you talk about Haiti, but you genuinely do not understand the culture and the deep religious significance and the lore that comes from Haiti?
Wait, hold on. You think I'd support multiculturalism?
Yeah, this is voodoo. Like, it's actually a thing. They used to,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like
Why do you
when
think I would
they
support
had...
that?
Wait, you don't support voodoo?
No.
What? What's wrong with voodoo then?
Oh, wait a second, Arch. Arch, I'm gonna post this in live links and probably don't bring it up. People are saying that second video was actually a lamb.
Conceivably, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a butchered lamb. Looks kinda like it.
Conceivably, but I feel like the neck was shorter, but possibly.
You know what? I bet Arch knows about Papa Legba.
I do not.
Really? Oh my fucking... Am I the only one who actually read
Yep.
stuff about voodoo? So this
Hey,
is actually
Bundle.
interesting because when the people of Haiti were slaves, they wanted to practice their religion from Africa, but they couldn't because it was considered heretical. Well, I mean, to be fair, offering sacrifices in order to summon entities that can grant wishes is a little bit kind of like, you know, the folklore in Christianity that you're summoning the devil. So like, yeah, I can see why the Christians didn't like it. But apparently, what the Haitian did is that they hid behind Christian saints. So, like, for instance, one Christian saint, they could talk about it, but they were actually referring to their Loa. So like, for instance, Saint Peter could have been like Papa Legba. So they're talking about Saint Peter, but they're actually talking about Papa Legba.
That is
You guys
weird.
don't know what I'm talking about.
I reject
I'm not
this.
making it up, by the way. Like, this is real. Like, this actually happened.
Yeah,
And
I don't really care too much
Pax-
about these backwards cultures, man.
Says Dev, my favorite
Not
fence-sitting
backward,
communist.
It's actually, oh god. See, like, if Hollywood would cover it, then you would care about it. If Hollywood would
I
actually
don't
make
give a
it,
shit.
it's like, it's so much-
V,
it's so much
V, you're
lore.
projecting all of your ideas that you get from Twitter onto me. I don't give a shit about any of this.
You get this from fucking Twitter. I actually read books about the occult. And I watched YouTube videos.
Artemis Fowl. Dev is always right, unless Dev waits 2 years to admit he was wrong on the FBI, knowing the Hunter laptop story was real beforehand, which I had to drag Dev to the right side, kicking and screaming.
So, yeah, you had to wait for evidence to come out? Yeah, I know.
Yep, so you were, wrong. Everybody else was, right. And you
We'll
had
see.
to be brought into the light. Naxless, but do the Dev facts outweigh the Dev fats? Sometimes. Mr. Twisted Frenzy. Arch, which is better, chainmail or scale mail? On the total scale mail, because chainmail is very weak against like spears and daggers and stuff. Alex Adamson. It doesn't matter when we're incorrect, Dev. It matters that the good side defeats the bad. That also is true, yeah.
I already answered that, and I basically said, listen, when you are incorrect, that means on that topic you are the bad side.
And I proved that you were wrong by bringing up Lum Lum narrative.
Nope. I disagree. I reject.
Alamandorius.
Also,
Hey, Arch,
go
so
ahead.
just saw Transformers 1. There are hints of woke, but it's greatly subdued. I was actually genuinely impressed. Hopefully the downward woke trend continues. I've seen parts of that where Megatron and Optimus Primes are friends. I am not optimistic, but I'll check it out once it's released properly. Adoman, Lumbum should play Terra Invicta. She should play all the super complicated strategy games because I would like to see Lum Lum cry.
I still need to figure out which one I'm gonna play first. There's too many goddamn strategy games in the way. Like, okay, Arch, during your Dustborn stream when you were talking about that one game that you were playing when you were the bad guy, you almost lost because good guy almost did the thing, but you killed him and all that. That sounds really fucking cool. But that's probably like a strategy game that I'll probably get confused as soon as I open it, cry, close it, uninstall, and then walk away from my computer.
You guys play Age of Mythology?
I've never played any Age of Mythology games or Civilization or anything like that.
It's like you know how ancient cultures have like really interesting lore, like the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Norse. Well, in this game, you pick as a civilization, and you get to spawn their myth units, and you get god powers from like Thor or Odin. It's really cool.
Lumi, did you end up picking up FTL while it was on sale?
Huh?
I put it in my cart and I forgot to press buy.
Oh no, is the sale over?
I don't know.
God damn it.
Terra Invicta is a good one, but it's complicated. Shadows of Forbidden Gods, however, is actually not complicated. You've just got to embrace being Sauron. Simple.
Okay, I
Did
can
they
do that.
patch that out of Invicta? Because when I was playing, it was so fucking lackluster.
They're still patching it. It's going to take a while.
Oh, what's the game called again?
Shadows of Forbidden Gods.
Okay.
Oh no, the price of FTL went back up to $11. You missed like the $3 sale.
Yeah, it's like I like games where I can play as evil characters if given the choice. Ooh, and there's a demo. I'll
Bob
Would you
Boring
review
Name
my game, Dev?
says, Arch, cock or tits playthrough, when? Never.
What?
This mostly reading. You don't even have to show the pictures. V and Fish could join you. Nope.
Yeah, come
Nope.
on. You can play Corruption of Champions.
Nope.
Oh my
Aw.
god, though. I actually know what that is about. That it's disturbing that I do.
Jonathan Smith.
Hey, shit.
Howdy, Arch, Lumi, and Dev. Welcome, Dev. So happy that chat's favorite friend has shown up. For Dev is always right. Folks chat.
Another dev sympathizer. Jeez.
Based.
So on the ledge, V, Feet Fetish, and Barch show quality just went all up all of a sudden. Also, the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, showing less Trump derangement syndrome than Dev wasn't on my bingo card. Yeah, it was on mine.
My favorite, not on my bingo card, I think it was this year or last year when Mundane Matt was arguing with Brianna Wu and Mundane Matt was calling Wu a transphobe. That was...
Honestly, Brianna Wu's been getting a lot of that recently, being called like a traitor and a transphobe and a fascist, etc.
Do they have a word for it? You know, because like they have a word for black people. They have a word for even for women that are against like feminism, they have a word for it. But like, do they have
Yeah,
a
pick
word
me.
for
It's pick me, I think, is what they use.
what do they use?
Pick me. Same
Pick
thing as a
me?
feminist. Yeah. So I know, for example, shoe on head was called a pick me for a long time because she was an anti-feminist.
That is such a fucking bad word. Like, it's not even remotely an insult.
Yeah, it's become one on the left though. It's not one, but it's become one for them. The idea of pick me is basically like, the person who says I'm the good one, so you
No, I
you
get,
should
I get
pick
it.
me.
It's like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
like the other girls. Yeah, I get it.
yeah,
But it's still like really dumb.
yeah. It is.
Artemis Fowl. Sargon was canonized in Warhammer lore, and Arch was featured French kissing a penis alien in a Marvel comic. This year has been pretty funny.
That's true, Arch. That's true.
Yeah, and Lumi has been immortalized in a feet picture too.
Listen, we all know
Just
that.
like the story behind that, is that Reed Richards? Like, what's going on? Because I want to make a video about it tomorrow.
It's
I'm pretty
Arch,
sure it's
actually.
Johnny Storm.
It's Arch.
Mark to shame.
Arch.
Dev only
Arch's dating
fact
girlfriend.
checks one side. He should go work for ABC. How do you
That's
know
not
he
true,
isn't
and you know
already?
it. Stop being salty.
Jesse Jinx, can't see that comic in full. Fit to screen, please. I know. It was dumb. Silly.
Was the ABC interview fair? Was the debate fair, Dev? Like, did you
Well,
think
obviously
that the
not,
moderators were?
No, the moderators were obviously biased against Trump. It's not the moderator's job to fact check any of Trump's false statements. That's Kamala's job. She should be doing that. Whenever the moderators jumped in to correct something, even if they were correct, and they were often correct, they shouldn't be doing it. It's not their place.
Do you think that shit? What did I want to ask? Oh yeah, do you think Kamala was wearing those microphone earrings?
No. I know everyone said so, but no.
It did
Do
look
you think I
really
should have given
fucking
the questions
sus,
before the
but
debate?
the
It
earrings
did
do
look
exist.
sus. It did look sus because it does look like the earrings, but I know Stardust did a deep dive. Here, I'll post that in the live links chat, Arch. Stardust did a
So
deep
why don't
dive
you think it's
into.
true? Like, did the
hold on.
earrings look different, or?
Yeah, the earrings look different. So the earrings that Kamala wore do not actually look like the earrings that are the microphone earrings when you zoom in on them. And also, she's worn. They're part of a set that includes a necklace, which she's been wearing for years. And Stardust posts like pictures of her wearing these things, like years back. So it does not seem to be some sort of like new technology.
Is it possible that all these years she was wearing earrings that?
It still doesn't look like them though.
It's like the one, like, I'm sure it's probably just because of pixelation and everything of low quality fucking screenshots. But it's like, to me, when I was looking at the Tiffany earrings and then looking at hers, it looks like the pearl was like cut like a gem. It's not completely round, but that's probably again because of pixelation. But I don't know.
Bob Warringname. Dev
Do you
grows
think she'll give
Stalin
us the
mustache
questions
fund.
before the-
I'm not growing a Stalin mustache.
Why not?
Actually, I probably couldn't. My facial hair game sucks.
Jackie Boy, Ryan Macbeth released a video today explaining why it's not true. Complete misinformation. Witcher stream +5 last dono. Press the fat. Okay, so 10.
Who's Jackie Boy?
Artemis Fowl. The rich people in gated communities haven't seen any migrants abducting pets. Color me surprised.
Yeah, if it was gonna happen, it's not gonna happen there, obviously.
Mocked ashamed. MSNBC posts a story on how Dev clearly trapped V. They have.
What?
And Cohosts. The car crashes are a bigger deal, but cats. Cats.
That's actually true. So one of the things that some of these people in Springfield are saying is that Haitians just can't fucking drive.
Yeah, I saw a
they-
car crash really nasty on Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that the car crash situation is far worse and far more important than the cats and dogs situation. But people focus on the cats and dogs is more sensationalistic.
Yeah, because no, it's not the sensationalism. It's that the cat lady is the cornerstone of American culture. Like everything that the Democrats
Oh my
do,
God.
literally every single policy is for the cat lady. So like if the cat ladies are in danger, then that is an actual catastrophe for the Democrat Party. Look at their voting
It's a
base.
catastrophe.
It is a catastrophe, yes. Like look at their voting base. Like most of the people that vote them are single cat ladies. That's why they got so angry when J.D. Vance called it out. It's like, every single foreign war, every single policy that taxes you more, every single time they print money, it is for those cat ladies.
It's like, I know I brought this up when I popped in during the debate and everything, but it's like, last year there was a really bad car crash with a Haitian driver who crashed into a school bus, killed one child, and injured a handful of others. So it's like, yeah, that honestly needs to be, paid a little more attention to than the, possible alleged pet eating and all that, because it's like people are getting hurt. A child died last
the
year.
biggest issue isn't even that. The biggest issue is like, why would you dump tens or thousands of migrants in a town and you're completely changing the dynamic of that town?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the town has 60,000 people, and 20,000 of them are Haitian immigrants.
Yeah, like
listen,
why would you do that?
It's like, listen, you can't put them all in one place. I understand the point of having refugees. If you have like refugee laws, and Haiti's currently a fucking like collapsing shit show, and you got to take care of refugees. I get it, okay. But what we do is you put like one family per small town. You don't put 20,000 of them in one fucking town. Like, it's ridiculous. It's not how you do these things. That is how you get like ghettoization, and you get these complete shithole neighborhoods that have no standards of anything. If you go like one town takes one family and integrate, it's fine.
It's still insane that in Springfield specifically, they have a bad homeless population problem, but they're giving all this money to immigrants so they can have houses and stuff. Please look after your own citizens first.
Yep.
Zero has been known for 10 months. Hey all, no snarky comment this time. Good to see you all. Arch, Dustborn was awful. Thanks for suffering for us. You too, Lumi. Also, hi V and Dev.
Yeah,
Hello.
Jackie
Dustborn
Boy.
is so much.
Did you actually play
Dustborn's bad, but
Dustborn?
it's so fun. It's so great. I love how terrible
I
it is.
mean, it's like, how many parts are you on? 4? You really are enjoying it if you're doing this many streams on it.
Listen. I know that you can like beat it really quickly, but like you can only
Really
take so much in
quickly?
one sitting. You can only take so much in one sitting. You have to be like, oh, like you could probably do like 2 6 or 7 hour streams, just beat it, right? But
Yeah,
I get
that's
to
what I
hour
did.
3. Yeah. See, I get to hour 3 and I'm like, I gotta stop. I'm fucking done, man.
15 hours is not a quick beat. Fucking Lollipop Chainsaw is 4 hours if you run straight through and you don't collect everything.
I think Space Marine, the new one, is like 8 hours or something.
8 hours roundabout,
Wait,
yeah.
hold on. Arch played Dustborn.
We all have.
did.
All 3 of us.
Arch became a cheap whore for it because his taxes paid for the game. Originally, he said $1,000 for it. He lowered it to $500 because he really wanted to play.
And reparations must be offered.
No, man. Listen, that game paid for itself. Like within the first 5 minutes, people were.
He also
throwing
paid
money
for
at
it in his own taxes, right? Because it's
I did.
the big taxpayer body that goes there. So
Jackie Boy, I resent that dev relationship statement, Arch.
Oh.
Cuban 922, Ryan Macbeth is a Fed and a evil human who wants to authorize the killing of non-combatants by the government because the US sucks at propaganda.
Actually, Arch, what was the spelling of that Jackie Boy guy? Because I can't find his channel.
Ah,
You just read the super chat. Look at it.
Jackie, spelled like Jackie.
Yeah, but is it Jakky? Is it Jacky?
Probably.
Is it G whatever? Like, what
Jackie.
is it?
Sandum, V, Arch has no time for D&D. He has to read Fallout Equestria. That's true.
Is it Jackie?
Probably.
Look at it, Arch. Tell me.
Jackie.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna see if I can find this guy's channel. I want to see.
Stream Troll Mike. Peace between Dev and V. I must have messed up the timeline again. Peace. Temporary. Lulu821. I'm off to work. Have a good one, guys. Thank you very much. Jackie Boy again. Kinetic response is an appropriate answer to bots. Jenny Sigmund, sniff. The scent of Lum Lum feet, fresh from the booth. Enticing indeed. Witcher.
Jesus.
Fresh from the booth. Mercenary X21. So I bought a $60 worth of UB stock at $2.50 each. I figure that's my way of buying Beyond Good and Evil 2, since, let's face it, it's not going to come out, and I may as well have a laugh. Wish me luck. And
If
so
that
Dev
game
has
came
eaten
out,
cat
it
and
would
dog.
be the worst shit imaginable given the culture we're living in.
It would probably be bad, yeah. It's too bad because the first game was so good.
Benjamin Snortkins, Terra Invicta, first most complicated game I seen. It's not actually as bad. See, what we'll do is, when Lum Lum picks up one of these games, I will be there, and I will hold Lum Lum's stinky, fat, smelly feet. Ugh, disgusting. And teach her. Nightmare. V and Dev together is the most entertaining form of ArchCast. Too bad we have limited time till my buns get warm. Zero, Lumi, I'm currently playing Age of Mythology Retold. It is good. It is, but it is baby's first strategy game. Ignore it. It's too easy.
Age of Mythology. I'll put that on my Steam list as well.
Have you played Age of Empires?
I've never played a strategy game in my life.
Yeah. She's mentally challenged.
It's kind of funny because the other Lumi, the one that's actually popular, she's got
Oh, shut the fuck up,
Jesus.
V.
strategy
That
game.
was
Do you know
pretty
how many
fucking
Lumis
evil.
there are that are more popular than me, V?
There's a
Also,
lot of
fuck you.
Lumis. There's like a
I don't know. I
Lumi
just,
right
just
there,
don't
even.
want that works at Face Connect.
You know what? Add a second
Oh yeah,
U to
the
your
lemon
name.
one.
Luumi. Lumi.
I'll just officially change my name to Lum Lum.
Marked ashamed. V, quit hiding behind Lumi. Arch, fix the avatar. No. Can't. Cossi. Disco is not here. Possible. Mercenary X21. The CIA can make Bluetooth look like anything. Of course it can. It's the CIA. And Artemis Fowl. I like how the people of Springfield saying that the car crash caused by Haitian migrants is believed at face value, but the same Springfield residents complaining about the Haitians eating cats is not believable. Yeah. Ugh.
It's because you can actually find police reports on the car crashes because they are public events that get recorded. You cannot find any such reports on cats being eaten.
Yes.
Show me the report, and I'll look at it.
Cat of Night. But Latinx is Makato. Kick Dev. No Goon. V Witcher. I don't know what that means. Nightmare. Haitians are driving up my car insurance rates. Mercenary X81. Did you enjoy the games I sent so far, Lumi?
I think we already. I think you already read that one. I don't know, but I'll say yes
That was a
again
different
anyway.
one. But yes.
Oh. Mm.
Car Forever. Did you miss my chat suite? The Lumi and Knots one. Oh god, Lumi likes Knots too. Disgusting.
No.
Is there one fetish you do not possess, woman? Just one.
Scat's icky. Piss is icky. Feet are icky.
You know,
Throw up is icky.
man, I'm pretty sure like piss isn't good. I'm pretty sure it's better than Guro though.
What?
I mean, I'd rather squish a flesh that should still be on the inside of your body than getting peed on. So
That's a bit weird. That's a bit strange. I'm not gonna lie.
Lumi is a bit strange.
I am. I'm mentally ill.
What?
Yeah, fair enough.
Bean 175. Can we get an Arch playthrough of Caesarion? It would be interesting how Arch would be as a president of a fledgling nation. Pay me. Or get me sufficiently interested. Oh, Car Forever, there, I understand. Feet and knots. Lumi is going full flick tonight. Ooh, disgusting. And the real Zartax, you missed one of my supers. Lazy Arch, bad Arch. I don't miss supers, as you can clearly see. Person, the aliens want to kill us all. Dev, actually, they just want to lobotomize us and turn us into cattle. You got the details wrong, so you're the bad ones now. I fully support the aliens. Yeah, Dev would
That's
do that.
retarded, and in fact, I do not support the aliens. You fucking moron.
Oh, I missed that one too. Crafter, Lum Lum suffering is why you have ponies on stream. Must have skipped a bunch. And Zero Firewater, here's more money since V showed up, and this goes to Nightmare Moon. And can we have an ArchCast with RGE, V, and the Latinx? Possibly. Is that... Are we going... Are we close to the end? I think we're close to the end. We are. Just in time. A little bit longer, and my food would be unedible. Thank God.
Yep. And it's now 7:30, so I'm going out.
Okay.
Okay,
You
bye
enjoy your
now.
diaper.
Fuck off.
Have fun with the new feeding hour.
Oh, he eats
I'll
it.
see you
That's
guys
even
later.
worse. See you later.
Have fun.
Bye.
Lum Lum, you enjoy your feats, as always.
I don't.
And V, whatever disgusting, horrible thing you're into at the moment, enjoy that too.
I'm playing Age of Mythology.
That's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, V, speaking of things that you're into, let me know when your game comes out so I can play it on stream. Obviously not on YouTube.
I want
Twitch.
Dev to review it.
You want Dev to review it? I mean,
want
I'll
Dev
review
to
it
review
too with
it.
my own money.
But yeah, hopefully it's going to be this year. I don't know. I'm trying, but game
Hey, whenever it
development
comes
is
out,
tickling
I will
me.
buy it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Until next time then, chat. Thank you very much for watching and for your generous donations, as always. Except for you, Artemis. Piece of shit. I do not... Actually, I do look like Johnny Storm. That part is true. It's just that I don't like sausage aliens.
Oh, but you have so many orifices that those sausages can go into.
Lum Lum really wants more feet art of her. Have a good night, chat.
Night, guys.